Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and boy, oh boy, does it feel good to be standing right here live on the channel, breaking down everything that surrounds this football team on today's show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive into a Mel Kiper mock draft. He released his third mock draft of the NFL offseason earlier today. I'm going to show you who the Giants picked. I'm going to tell you, of course, who I would have picked in that situation. Also, Tre'Davious White, veteran cornerback, former All-Pro cornerback that's been riddled by injuries over the past couple of years. He is going to be meeting with the New York Giants later this week on a free agency visit. A lot of people have asked me, yo, Marsh, what are the Giants going to do at the cornerback room? Well, sounds like they may be interested in signing former Buffalo Bill Tre'Davious White. And also, I'm going to go through the top cornerbacks, the top receivers, top D linemen, and top safeties that I think the Giants should look at in free agency. So updated free agency targets, a full rumors video on Tre'Davious White, an NFL mock draft, and we have a mailbag coming up around the corner. We got a lot to get into. Over 210 people watching. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon for the kids. Let's get it going. And if you have liked the video, you're allowed to participate in our build-up of today's show as we still let everybody find their seats. Some people are still in the popcorn line trying to get their snacks and get ready for the show. Shout out your city for me down in the comment section, as I just got a text from my landlord. Let's see what he's got to say. Says, I'm going to stop buying a few. Well, not there, brother. So hope you got a key. Guy charges me too much rent for the problems that this place has sometimes. It's redonkulous. The lights go out. The AC goes out. It's Texas. It's hot. Get it together, Troy. I hope you're watching. Shout out to my people in the building. We got a H-Town, hardly home, but always repping. Shout out to my guy. What's up? We got people tuning in from Canada. What up? Drifting, my man. What part of H-Town are you from, big dog? Eric Cruz in the building. He says, Philly, but F the Eagles, as always. That's my guy, Big Ron, holding it down for DC. What up, man? Kevin Epps. You related to Mike? He's tuning in from South Jersey. Josh is in California. Gus Nini is in Hamilton, New Jersey. Juan Diaz is in Connecticut. So is Denrod. We got a couple of people in Philly tuning in. We got Johnson Yu tuning in from Dallas, Texas. Come on down to Bryan Street, Johnson Yu, and come hang out with the real ones. Kill People says, bro, gonna go in your crib and spank his monkey tail on your couch. I'm the Ron Burgundy of Chat Sports. I will just read the comments without even thinking about them. What a crazy thing to say from that guy. I hope everything's all right, dude, because that was weird. 275 people watching. Please hit that thumbs up icon. The more likes we get in today's video, the more people that are going to tune in. More people that tune in, the better content gets, and more Giants fans get to hang out. Frank White in the building. What up, man? As my guy, Let's Go Giants, coming in with a $2 super chat. Any news on the tampering with the Eagles? No update as of yet, LGG, on if the Giants are going to get a pick for that, if the Eagles are going to lose a pick for that. I think that's a process that's probably going to play out over the next month or so. I do expect for a resolution to be found by the National Football League by the time of the NFL draft. But in these spots where the NFL has to do some investigation and look into these type of things, they're not going to rush to get to a decision. They want to make sure that they are 100% making the right decision. Let's all hope and pray that the Eagles lose a draft pick. And maybe the Giants get a draft pick. I don't know how likely that is. We did see last year that the Eagles and Cardinals came to an agreement to end the tampering charges that the Cardinals were being looked into because of the Jonathan Gannon hiring. They essentially swapped third-round picks. Eagles jumped up 30-something spots in the draft, and all they had to give up was a sixth-round pick to do so. So maybe there's a little handshake there to be had with Howie Roseman, who's done it again. Needed a linebacker, needed a corner, needed a safety. He's got James Bradbury on a team, but he paid $16 million for a running back. Howie Roseman, he did it again. Maybe him and Joe Schoen can come to a deal. Did I just see Rosenberry Nolasco in the building? Rosenberry, what's up, man? That's my guy right there. He was showing mad love during free agency. There's a reason that Rosenberry has a sticker on the hard hat, or not the hard hat, the football helmet. Hall of Fame here. Shout out to my guy Rosenberry. What up? I got this question because a lot of people have been asking me. I went home this week and I got to see my pops. He's a lifelong Giants fan. He's like, "What do you think of the free agency moves?" I was like, "You know what? I like some of the moves they made. You're not a playoff team just yet, in my opinion. Still some steps to go, potentially at the quarterback position. Won't spend too much time on that. But grade the Giants free agency so far. We are officially a week and a day and a half, 9 days into free agency. The Giants have made their big moves. I am not anticipating another big move coming from this team. There's really not many more players that are worthy of a big-time contract. So grade the Giants free agency for me down in the comment section. I'm seeing a lot of A's, a lot of B's, a strong B. Rob Simpy, my man, what's going on, bro? He's rolling with a B. Tyrone 30K Topic, rolling with a B+. That's my guy. Rosario Guzzo tuning in. What's up, Guzzo? Q to goat, rolling with a B-. Drifting is rolling with a B. We got a lot of B's. Lot of B's. And that's about what I would go with. I think I'd go with anything. If you want to convince me on a B+, I'll rock with that. If you want to convince me it's a B, I'll agree with that. I think that's right where the Giants sit. They just had to look in the mirror and take their medicine. They're a team that's not competing for the Lombardi Trophy this year, and I think that's something that we can all agree with, no matter how much we love this team. And when you're not competing for a Lombardi Trophy in the upcoming season, you need to reinvent your identity, and you need to relay the foundation of this football team, and that's exactly what Joe Schoen. He saw a high-priced running back that he could have re-signed that would have made the fans happy. He let him go. He saw a 24-year-old safety being paid top 5 money, who in my opinion is a top 10 safety, let him go out the building. He let the luxurious positions of a running back and a safety walk out the building, and he reallocated those resources to invest into a premium position. Edge rusher. I love that. I love investing in the premium positions. Edge rusher, they did that. 2 interior offensive linemen, they did that. I'm a fan of the moves Joe Schoen made. I'll go with anywhere from a B to a B+. A large part of that is dependent on how good John Runyon and Jermaine Illuminor are going to be for this football team next year. You guys know I'm a big fan of Illuminor. I think he's actually a better football player than Runyon. But with the money that they paid Runyon, 3 over 30, they're going to need him to be a much better player than Illuminor. That's no small chunk of change. That is starting like above average. Like, I don't want to say top 10, but $10 million a year, that's a good chunk of change for an interior offensive lineman. Giants need Runyon to be good. 350 people watching. Hit that thumbs up icon for me. As Logan Wilcox coming in with a $10 super chat. What up, man? A first-time super chatter. Shout out to Logan. He says, how sold are you in us leaving Vanilla Vic? I don't personally think JJ has potential to flip the Giants franchise. And what about taking a defensive tackle round 2 to help Sexy Dexy, Kayvon, and Spida to help the 4-3 defense? Well, Shane Bowen runs a 3-4. At least that is what he ran in Tennessee last year. And I always say it on this channel. I think that the whole 3-4 and the 4-3 kind of thing is a little bit overblown. Everybody rolls with 3 DBs in their base defense. Everybody rolls with 2 off-ball backers. And you roll with 2 safeties. So that's 7 guys right there. You have 4 people left on the field. They're all going to be on the line of scrimmage more often than not. When it comes to how sold am I on us leaving Vanilla Vic, a.k.a. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to be on the New York Giants next year. There's no doubt about that. After that, though, I don't have much confidence at all that he'll be on this team unless he shows that he is a quarterback that is worth $47 million per year. If that happens, Giants will be competing for a playoff spot. They'll have to live up to that hype. I don't think this time next year, I don't think Daniel Jones will be a New York Giant. When it comes to J.J. McCarthy, does he have the potential to flip the Giants? In year 1, no. In year 2, probably no. But I do think that there is a starting quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. And I have been hesitant, as producer Smitty is in the building today. Show Smitty some love, my guy. Smitty, I have been hesitant to give my comp on J.J. McCarthy because I go back and forth. I do think he's a good quarterback, but I am biased because I got to see him at 18 years old play football, and I got to hang out with him when he came down to Texas to play a high school football game. I believe in the person. I believe in the player. I believe in the work ethic. I just don't know if he is a franchise-changing, uplifting piece.
I mean, one of those guys, I feel like at some point you have to take a little bit of physical attributes into account. He just doesn't look the part of a guy who can transform a franchise to me. I don't know.
He's 6'2", 220. What else do you need?
He looks small on the football field. I don't care. To me, when he was playing at Michigan and he was, with those big guys there in the Big Ten, he looked small to me. He didn't look convincing as a guy who could go over and take over.
He was 20.
Another reason not to take him when your offense is in shambles.
He won't be 22 until January 2025.
I don't think he's a guy.
Jane Daniels, 24.
I don't know. I'm not as confident as a lot of people in J.J. McCarthy going out there, top 5 quarterback this year, and starting a full 17-game season.
I'm not ready for him to start 17 next year.
Yeah.
But I am projecting. I'm trying to put my little scouting hat on. I project that he can be a starting quarterback in this league. Is he ever a top 10 guy? We'll have to wait for that to be seen.
I know they have these, these projects in the NFL, the Jordan Love, the Patrick Mahomes, who wait the year and sit behind somebody. Has there ever been a top 5 pick who has done that?
Eli Manning sat about 6 games for Kurt Warner.
Hall of Fame quarterback. Guy just won Super Bowls two years before that. I understand that part. I mean, I don't know. I feel like more taking a top 5 draft pick.
Well, it's number 6.
I don't know. If you watch Giants Now earlier today, they might have to trade up to get JJ.
They might have to.
That's what I'm saying.
So I've been hesitant to give my comp. I have a player comp for J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I want to know.
I don't think I've told you this.
Yeah, you have not.
I haven't really told anybody this. I've been keeping it close to the vest. And I am expecting a reaction of Giants fans to go one or two ways. They're going to hate it or they're really going to like it. And I'm going to say he's a stronger armed, more athletic Andy Dalton. That's what he is to me.
Okay.
A stronger armed, more athletic Andy Dalton. And if you're like, Marshall, that guy's no good. Well, Andy Dalton, his first year in the NFL, went 9-7. Then 10-6. Then 11-5. Then 10-5. And then 10-3. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 5 years of his career, Smitty won 9 or more games. I would kill for a 10-win season.
Andy Dalton won a lot of football games. Maybe not a lot of postseason success, but he never really had that great of a team in Cincinnati either. I mean, those defenses and offenses were kind of middle of the pack. Andy Dalton won a lot of football games. I think Giants fans would be very happy with that.
In his first 5 years of his career, he was actually pretty damn good. 50-26. You know what I would do for the Giants to win 50 out of 77 games? I'd do some illegal shit and potentially felony worth it. I would.
That's two-thirds of the time you're winning. So I don't think you can complain with that.
And I actually think he's better than Andy Dalton, but when I watch his tape, that's kind of who he reminds me of. He takes care of the football. He plays within the offense. He can make a lot of the throws. Underrated athlete. Some people call him a journeyman. I see him in the chat. He wasn't a journeyman until Cincinnati self-imploded. And let's hope that the New York Giants can run a better ship than the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not saying he's going to be Andy Dalton. Just through my tape study, I've watched 5 full games, rewatched, of all 22 film for J.J. McCarthy. That's currently where I sit on his pro comp. A more athletic, stronger armed Andy Dalton. Logan, I wouldn't mind a second-round defensive tackle, but I think the Giants have bigger needs a little bit elsewhere. I like Jordan Riley. I like DJ Davidson. We'll talk about D tackles. I wouldn't mind signing a veteran proven guy and then drafting that in the 4th or 5th round, but it is what it is at this point. Mac Jones was better than JJ in college. Well, Mac Jones is no longer a starter in this league. We're having some trouble pulling some super chats and putting them on the screen. We're going to do our best to get those on the show. I think I saw a couple of those. One came in. Johnson, my guy, came in with a $5 super chat. Said, how mad would you be if we got Neighbors Odunze round 1 and then Penix Nix in the future rounds? How would the QB room be with Jones, Locke, Penix, or Nix? I wouldn't be mad at all if the Giants drafted Neighbors or Odunze in round 1. I actually like Neighbors and Odunze, and I have both those guys inside my top 8 when it comes to my big board. So taking them at 6 makes a lot of sense. I think if you get Michael Penix at pick 49 when you're on the board, that's a steal. That's a steal. I'm not a Bo Nix guy, though. I know there's some people that are Bo Nix people. I am not a Bo Nix guy. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. I think he has a noodle arm. I don't think the ball came out of his hands well at all at the combine. I think the bigger ball you grab a college football, you grab an NFL ball, they may tell you they're the same size. They're not. An NFL ball is much bigger. And I think that is somewhat maybe given Bo Nix a little bit of problems. At the Senior Bowl, he didn't throw the ball well. Didn't throw the ball well at the combine. I like his processing. I like his ability to anticipate when throwing the football. I just don't see him as a guy that I want as my franchise quarterback. That's just where I'm at on that. Shout out to everybody in the building. 484 people watching. That's great audience, man. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get some more crazy SOB Giants fans in here. Every like we get is going to help get somebody in the building. So if you can, hit the thumbs up icon. And if you have liked the video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you dropped a me down in the comment section. That way I can know who the real ones are in the chat and I can engage with them, because if you're not going to like the video, I don't want to show you all that much love. Let's go. Shout out to Blair, Darius G, Bill. What's up, Bill? Kevin Epps, Joey DeLuca. Shout out to Corinne, says, help us get to 45,000 subs. Please sub if you haven't. Exactly. Shout out to Kathleen. Lewis Tank Dickens. Rob Sippy. Matthew Valverde. Nope. Joseph. Guza. What's up, man? He says he doesn't like Knicks either. Yeah, I'm not a Knicks guy. Shane Tompkins. Ty Man the Buckeye in the building. Orange Skull. Kelly. Ricky. LBD. John Foster. Jalen. Shout out to everybody that's liked the video. What up, man? I appreciate you guys. Tony B. You guys are the best. Appreciate everybody. Logan Wilcox coming in with another super chat. Shout out to him. Tell Johnson to change his profile picture. F the Eagles. I did see Johnson Yu does have an Eagles profile picture. He's also in Dallas, Texas today. So he is walking the enemy lines today. Well, Nope says, Marsh says some random shit and I need to list all of it. Are you writing them all down, or are you just putting them in the comments section? Because if you're writing those down, I would love to see some of the Marshisms that we've used over the past couple of months. Johnson, you with the eye emoji. That's hilarious. Ryan says, are you a Rattler fan? You should go watch a Giants Now live from January, where I sung the praises of Spencer Rattler and everybody laughed at me. It's weird, though. Now everybody loves Spencer Rattler. It's almost like they did a little bit of tape study. Guy throws one of the best footballs in this class. I like Spencer Rattler. I wouldn't take him, though, before round 4. Round 4 is the earliest that I would take my guy Spence. Former number 1 recruit, played really good at Oklahoma. Yeah, and he got beat out by Caleb Williams. So I don't hold really that much against him. Is he kind of a loser, kind of an asshole? Sure, but he's been voted a team captain a couple of times, and I think some people can grow up.
Throws a pretty good football.
Throws a pretty damn good football. He may be a D-bag, but that guy can spin it over the middle.
He can spin it, man.
He can spin it. Golden Spatian. Golden Spatian, my man. Don't draft Penix because we just gave Thomas the bag. You mean as in Andrew Thomas because he is your left tackle and you don't have a right tackle? Okay. I feel that. I don't know.
Is Andrew Thomas always a left tackle? I feel like he was a right tackle at Georgia.
I don't know.
I could be tweaking, but I feel like Andrew Thomas has not only played one side of the field in his career. Obviously, the Giants, he's been blindside man the whole time, but...
And that's something I hadn't necessarily put too much thought or stock into. I do worry that the Giants don't necessarily have a stud right tackle if you do draft a lefty, but you just gave Jermaine Illuminor some good cash. Only if the guy that said Giants fans flip burgers could play right tackle. That'd be pretty damn cool. Shout out to Evan Neal. It's a good point, though. It's a good point. I I don't think you'd move Andrew Thomas to right. I don't think it would be the hardest transition for him. It'd be interesting to see what they do. But I'm not drafting Penix if I have him high on my board when he's on the clock at 49 because Andrew Thomas is my left tackle. I will figure out a way to make sure he is protected in the pocket. But definitely something they should be thinking about going space, and I like that. Let's go Giants, coming back with a $5 super chat. It says, play Jones because you have to pay Jones if you sit him or play him and get him a wide receiver in the draft. Also, though, something to know is if he can't pass a physical by March of 2025, his contract for 2025-2026 becomes fully guaranteed. And then you cannot cut him.
How many? He has to play a certain amount of time?
He has to be able to pass a physical in March of 2025.
Oh.
So let's say, like, he's playing in week 17 and he has another neck injury, or has another ACL injury, or he hurts his Achilles, whatever it is. Many things that can happen to an NFL player. We saw the Denver Broncos do that this past year, Smitty, with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And I think we also saw another team do that as well. I don't remember who it was.
Get that brother a clipboard.
Yeah, I mean, I've told
clipboard.
you guys I've been wanting to do.
What?
Derek Carr. And look at Jack Sperry coming in from left field. I knew it was another quarterback. The Raiders in 2021, they benched Derek Carr at the end of the season because they did not want to run the risk of his injury guarantee. Jack Sperry coming in from left field. That's my guy right there. I knew there was someone else. I couldn't remember who, though.
I thought Derek Carr was just
I
coming
thought
back
Derek
to the
Carr
Raiders.
went back to the Raiders. So I was like, huh? Again? No. Yes. So Derek Carr in 2021 was benched by the Raiders, and Russell Wilson was benched by the Denver Broncos. So something to keep in mind. 506 people watching. Hit that thumbs up icon. Play Jones because you have to pay Jones. I get that, and we'll talk about that in the mock draft. I make a very similar point to that in the mock draft. Let's go Giants. You're living inside my head, dude. Get out of there. We are going to get into a mailbag later in Raiders 2022. Dumb Marshall said 2021. It was 2022. 2021-2022 season. No, 2022-2023 season. Either way, it's having two quarterbacks.
That's right.
Before. If you want to get your question featured on our mailbag coming up in about an hour or so, hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. 509 people watching, man. That's good stuff right there. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up icon. Easiest way to support the channel and for more audience to keep coming in the show. We are going to get into a mailbag. We have some new people watching that have never watched the show before. So the way that you can be featured on the mailbag is, one, all Super Chats that are applicable to the New York Giants are featured on the mailbag. The way to get your question on the mailbag and leave it up to producer Smitty is comment down below and make sure to include a hashtag Giants in your comment, just like you see it up on screen. That way we could pull it through our software. So I'm asking all the real ones to get their questions in.
And I'm the puppet master here, so the questions better be good. So I'm putting them up.
No bad questions. They're getting by Smitty today.
Nope.
No bad questions. Let's tell the people about our March raffles, and then let's jump into the
Let's do it.
Tre'Davious White cut. Remember, guys, we are doing raffles for the entire month of March. And whoever sends in, go to that one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Any super chat you send in on today's show gets on the raffle. Every $10 super chat you send in on the show gets you into the raffle to win this here Giants football. Every $10 you send in will get you a raffle ticket. And whoever sends in the most $50 super chats will get a free custom Giants jersey. Whatever name, whatever number, whatever jersey, whatever player you want, you'll win a custom jersey. Whoever sends in the most $50 super chats this month. Currently, Mike G is the leaderboard for our March Bang contest. He was actually our February Bank Contest winner, so he's at the top of the ranks. My guy, the real Jay Banks, is right behind him. T-Rex right behind him. And CTM, the beautiful mod of this channel. Shout out to Corinne, always show love. And then 5-0 Theo in the race for the leaderboard. And also, if you send in a $50 super chat, you get your name on the helmet, our Hall of Fame here, with your name in the sticker. So $50 super chat gets you that, and it gets you into the bank contest.
And if somebody sends a $50 super chat before we start our first segment, I'll do a beer shotgun.
Wow. $50 super chat. Smitty said he's doing a beer shotgun. I like that. I like that. I like that. Logan Wilcox, $5 super chat. What's up, man? Says, what are the odds that we kidnap Eli Manning and make him start for the Giants? Win-win situation.
Do we remember how that ended?
Yeah, I think it's probably best to look somewhere else. We love Eli. I have nothing but nice words to say about Eli. I believe he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Of course.
Best offensive player to ever play for the New York Giants. Should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Unanimous.
Unanimous?
It should be unanimous.
Who is he, Mariano Rivera?
Two-time NBA, two-time NFL MVP of the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Beat Bill Belichick. See, a lot of people just say he beat Tom Brady, Smitty. No one ever mentions that he also beat the best coach of all time.
Beat Robert Kraft. He beat them all.
No rub and tug was going to get Robert Kraft done against the Giants, that's for sure.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think we should kidnap Eli, and I don't think he should be the quarterback of this team anymore. That's where I'm at.
Love the profile picture, though, Logan. Very tough, very tough.
I do as well. Shout out to Brian Burns. Shout out to Brian Burns. You are a New York Giant, Brian Burns.
He literally is a New York Giant.
Oh, man. He's going to be so good for so long. The fact that we got him for a second and fifth round pick, and that's what we traded Leonard Williams for. It's kind of crazy. How do you feel about that?
Chill.
Leonard Williams got a bag from y'all.
He did. We paid
He's a good player.
He is a good player. I don't know if he's $25 million good.
He's the Kirk Cousins of DTs.
Oh, my God.
Always gets paid big bucks.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is his second big payday, right?
Jason says, Marshall, did you even watch much of McCarthy's play this year? I actually have not watched any of J.J. McCarthy. I just lie about everything I see. Yes, I've watched him, dude. Yes.
He was only on the best team in the country.
Only on the best. I learned, I made a post of a two-player stat comp of Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy in college, and I posted on Twitter, did its rounds. I didn't know that J.J. McCarthy just played on an offense that was loaded with NFL talent at skill positions. I learned that on Twitter today. Supposedly Roman Wilson's going to be a stud. Donovan Edwards is going to be a stud, even though he's coming back for another year of college.
He's actually never going to be in the NFL
next year. Then Blake Corum's supposedly going to be an RB1. Probably won't be drafted till day 3.
5'2", 40.
Yep, 5'7".
He ran a 4.9, I'm pretty sure? That's horrific.
Let's stop acting like...
That's Brandon Jacobs' speed.
Let's stop acting like J.J. McCarthy had talent just loaded at skill positions around him. Did he have a great offensive line? Yes. I don't know.
He had a great offensive line. That's really about it. Roman Wilson was not as good as everybody thinks he is.
He's going to go in the 4th round.
Yeah.
He might be out of the league in 3 years.
Oh, my God.
Rebel Montana coming in with a $2 super chat. Shout out to Rebel Montana. He says that was a good boot race last night. We did boot race, and you won. So I'll give you that one. Rebel Montana, we boot race last night. He sent in a $100 super chat on Knicks. We were at a boot race. Shout out to Rebel Montana, a GOAT here at Chat Sports. Joseph, Fiend. Shout out to my guy, Smitty. Who do you hope the Giants take in second round? Yeah, Smitty, who do you hope the Giants take in round?
I got to find his name. Oh, yeah, no, I remember it now. Let's go. So the Giants, they're not going to go receiver in round 1, contrary to what you might hear in just a few minutes here on Giants Now.
From Mel Kiper.
From Mel Kiper, not from us. Give me Ricky Pearsall from Florida.
Really?
The wide receiver. Yeah, give me some spice it up a little bit.
What type of player do we got there?
I don't know. But I like the frame. He looks drippy in that Florida Gators uniform.
He had that sick one-handed catch.
Yeah, that sick one-handed catch. That's all I know about him. Honestly, once I get past the first round, I'm an NFL draft casual. I don't know anybody in here.
I do like the way Smitty is drafting a receiver in round 2. We're going to talk about that around the corner. Mm-hmm. This is a loaded receiver class.
I think you can find talent past the first round.
I do too. My guy, as Gab says in the chat, I want Xavier Legette.
Xavier Legette wouldn't be bad either. Just it kind of depends on what kind of receiver you want.
Yeah.
I know what kind of receiver he is. Everybody's calling him Debo Jr.
Yeah, Debo DK baby.
That's crazy. That'd be the best receiver in the NFL.
But yeah, no. So you're going with the slot receiver out of Florida, huh?
Yeah.
Compared him to a Julian Edelman is what I saw on Pro Football Focus.
But Julian Edelman, Super Bowl MVP, so that's something you like to see very much. So let's get more of those guys.
He should probably be in the Hall of Fame as well. Brian Combs, I believe is how you say it. What's up, man? $5 super chat. Thank you for the love, bro. If Daniel Jones is our main QB all year, what record do we end with? That's a great question.
These are some good questions for the mailbag later. First, super chats get first priority, by the way.
I don't know because I don't know what Daniel Jones is. Like, I'm somewhere in between 2022 was a fluke and 2023 was not nearly as bad as what he is. I think he's somewhere in between there. And calling a fluke season when he threw for like 17 touchdowns, if it was even that, it's kind of crazy. Look, I just don't believe in him. I'm sorry. Like, how come every other team gets to ditch their quarterback that stinks early on in their tenure?
It's New York. They hang on to
Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett. Every other team ditches their quarterback.
Trey Lance didn't even play.
Trey Lance was selected number 3. We'll see ya. Like, Mitch Trubisky didn't get a second contract.
Yep.
I don't need to be with a woman for 6 years to know she's cheating or not.
Mac Jones out.
Mac Jones.
Keep in mind, I mean, Mac Jones made a Pro Bowl, was in a playoff game. He got smoked, but he was, he made the playoffs. Like, he's already out.
Zach Wilson trade rumors.
Out of there.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't need to see.
Keep in mind, Daniel Jones has been in town a year, 2 years, even 3 years longer than some of these guys.
Yeah, this will be his 6th year in the league.
Oh my God.
Why do I need 6 years to if you need 6 years to evaluate a prospect, that means your
process
process is wrong.
He might not be the guy.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit. Logan Wilcox, what up, man? Do you prefer Williams or Burns or the 2nd and 5th? As in Leonard Williams, it's Brian Burns all day. Leonard Williams is almost 30, if not 30. Brian Burns is 25, and he's ascending.
I prefer the big cat.
I do love me some big cat, but he ain't Brian Burns.
No, he ain't Brian Burns.
He ain't Brian Burns. And I prefer Burns over the 2nd and 5th. Matt says, Marsh, you're a real one. Hey, man, I'm only as real as you guys. That's all we are. Shout to y'all. Shout to y'all.
So we're going to get into a video cut about a potential Giants free agent pickup here in a little bit. What do you guys think about a potential reunion for Brian Dable and Trey White? He might be washed. He might be washed.
Trey White is meeting with the New York Giants in NFL free agency. Do you think they should sign him? Type S for sign, type P for pass. If it's a 1-year deal,
no,
I'm in.
Like not guaranteed, like non-guaranteed.
I'll give you 1 year for 1 year up to $5 million, 2.5 guaranteed.
That's perfect.
1 year up, you play 17 games. We'll tack on some more.
Yeah,
tack on some.
Give him some bonuses.
Nope, says Trey is cooked, bro. Gonna turn.
Get a lot of volatility though. A lot of people saying S, a lot of people saying P.
I like that. A lot of engagement. That's what we're looking for. We'll break that down just around the corner. AJS says, Marsh, you think the Giants are taking a wide receiver or are they going to go QB? We're going to talk about that around the corner. Yep. If you want to get your question on the mailbag, include hashtag Giants in your comment. As Ricky DaCosta says, Odunze at 6, Penix at 45. Welcome to New York. So we're trading up from 47 to 45 for Penix. I don't hate that.
You might have to in some scenarios.
You might have to. Like he says, they're picking 47th, so maybe you jump up. Maybe you meant 47th. I mean, if you walk away with Odunze and Penix in the first 2 rounds, like, I'm cool with that.
I agree.
I'm cool with that. And we'll talk about this in a second, Smitty. Mel Kiper talks about the Giants, and he says, we'll talk about it after because it will kind of ruin what the video is. But I have a bone to pick with what Kiper had to say, and I'll probably say it in the video. So, let's talk about Trey White. Alzo, my guy. What's up, man? Alzo is the first subscriber I ever remember here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. He's been supporting this channel since God knows how long, before I even started working here when there wasn't even really a channel. But I started doing videos on this channel of June 2021, and Alzo watched every one. And he was in the comments every single time. We've got a cool little relationship now. That's my guy. He always shows me love. So when you see Alzo in the chat, show him some love because that is the definition of a real one. Alzo, good day, my man. Good day. Good to see you. Logan Wilcox coming in with another super chat. My guy's balling out today. Says, do we have cap space for White? Yes, we have plenty of cap space for Tre'Davious White. He won't cost that much. And like you alluded to, you can restructure Dexter Lawrence and you can restructure Andrew Thomas and save north of $20 million. You could also cut Darren Waller, or if he retires, you save about $7 million. And there's some other players that you could move on from and save money as well. Giants can make the cap work if they want to add more players. Joseph, Fiend, says, what do you think of Braylon Allen, only 20 years old? Which running back would you target later in the draft? Love watching you guys. Smitty, I hope Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman might be Mike Williams, and I don't know if that's a good thing. He might just be a running straight line man and have no versatility whatsoever. But hey, I respect it because I'm a casual.
Braylon Allen is so interesting.
I like him.
6'2", 240.
Ran like a truck at Wisconsin.
He got downhill, man.
Yeah. He was like a true running back.
I don't know if he's an NFL back, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't really know how to evaluate NFL running back versus college running back. I don't understand the difference.
The dude runs hard, that's for sure.
Yeah. He doesn't really have a lot of pass catching upside.
No, he does not.
So if that's what you're talking about.
I think he's a pea in the pod. He's not the pod. He's a pea in the pod of the running back position.
He could be a good part of a 1-2 punch.
Exactly.
Like you get like a Tajay Spears next to that guy. It's pretty dirty.
I like Jalen. I think it's Jalen Wright from Tennessee. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. I like him. He's a home run hitter. I obviously like Trey Benson. Those are some of the running backs I like in the later rounds. I think the Giants should draft another running back, but I'm not ready to just mail it in on Eric Gray yet. I'm not ready to just say Eric Gray is a stiff and he's not going to be any good. You drafted him in the 5th round last year, I want to say, if not the 6th round. I wouldn't mind him. Joseph. I think he's a hard runner. I think he runs in between the tackles really well. He rarely gets brought down by arm tackles. And if the Giants' offensive line is going to be improved, I wouldn't mind 6'2", 245 getting to the second level untouched. Well, Brandon Jacobs back in the day, maybe. Not quite B. Jacobs, but baby B. Jacobs.
Speaking of Mike Williams, who I just mentioned, he's a New York Jet.
No.
He's a New York Jet.
Mike Williams is signing with the Jets.
Shout out Pretty Ricky.
He's back?
He predicted that.
Oh, wait. I thought the account was back, though.
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't know it got shut down
Yeah,
again.
the Pretty Ricky account got shut down.
Oh, I mean, Schefter is in shambles.
I think that the NFL insiders, tried to get his account canceled.
Of course it is them.
Losers.
You think Elon cares about Pretty Ricky?
Wow. Mike Williams to the Jets. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's that good.
That's what I just said. That's why I said Keon Coleman is like the exact same thing as Mike Williams, and it's not something I'm entirely enthusiastic about.
Gab, that was a fake Ricky. That was a fake Ricky. It almost got me.
Up to $15 million? That better be half in incentives.
The real Ricky is 213. That Ricky was 212. So, no, that is not. Ricky did not say that, but we'll know if Ricky says something. Zach Attack, 5858. What's up, boss man? Appreciate the super chat. You think J.J. McCarthy can win us a Super Bowl?
We've been running a mailbag for 40 minutes.
I do think J.J. McCarthy could be a Super Bowl quarterback. I do.
For the New York Giants?
For the New York Giants, we got to get way better. We got to get way better. Even if you add frickin' Patrick Mahomes to this team, you got to get way better.
I agree.
Michael says it. JJ is a winner. All he's done is win his entire life. Maybe I'm letting Patrick Seatman get in my head about McCarthy, but he's closing the gap between him and Jaden Daniels as QB3. He really, really is. Edwin Quintero, what's up, dog? $5 super chat and a first-time super chatter. Shot Debbie says, Penix being a lefty means Evan Neal protects the blind side. Now.
Uh-oh.
Or Jermaine Illuminor. Or you just move Andrew Thomas to right tackle.
I feel like Illuminor is going to have to start over Evan Neal.
I think they'll start the season with Evan Neal at right tackle, Illuminor at right guard, and if Evan Neal gets cooked, he'll be flipping burgers on the bench.
Yeah, he will be.
And then you move Illuminor to right tackle, and then you use Zudu or McKeithen at that right guard spot.
Oh, man.
That's my take on that. Future Marshall problem, but if Penix, you believe Penix is a franchise quarterback and he's on the board at 47, or you want to trade up back into the first, you go do it and you figure out the right tackle position later. That's my thought on that. Logan Wilcox says, no, JJ will not. We need more depth, DB depth after X left. No, JJ will not. He will not what? Win a Super Bowl?
What's that? I think so.
I think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl. I do. I think J.J. McCarthy is better than Brock Purdy, and he was a couple good throws away from winning a Super Bowl. Did he have the most talented roster in recent NFL history? Yeah, but if you don't have Patrick Mahomes, that's probably what you're going to have to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. All right, let's get into this Trey White piece. If you guys want to continue the Super Chats, keep those flowing. We'll continue to answer those. We're up to $59 in Super Chats. Deal of the day. If we get to 500, me and Smitty are doing a beer boot race. I didn't tell him that, but now he knows.
All right.
500, we probably won't get there, right? There's no way the Giants Now Super Chatters get us to $500 in Super Chat.
There's no way you guys can get us there. Listen, we are 440 away.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I don't know.
You guys aren't like that. I just heard Evan Neal, Evan Neal was just brought up, and I've seen his name for the first time in probably 6-7 months. I just go back to the Don LaGreca rant about him. He's a bum.
It was because he said Giants fans are freaking burger flippers.
Yeah, no, he's.
I don't think LaGreca said anything wrong.
He didn't say anything wrong, but it's one of the all-time funniest clips in New York sports radio.
Hilarious. This is our Super Chat menu. Any Super Chat, get on the show. $10 Super Chat, you get an entry into our ball raffle to win this March 2024 MVP. If you send in a $50 Super Chat, you get entered into the bank competition. Whoever sends in the most $50 Super Chats this month, we're going to get you a custom New York Giants jersey. And if we get to 500 today, me and Smitty are boot racing. Walter says, don't let this Smitty dude mess you full. He ain't. Smitty, he ain't. He's good. He cracks me up. T-Money says, laugh my ass off, Marsh. I love you, bro, but McCartney bites. Yeah, no, I don't want J.J. McCartney. I would like J.J. McCarthy, but no J.J. McCartney. Someone told me on Twitter today that the Michigan Wolverines last year had great skill position players. I said, name the 3 wide receivers that will be great in the NFL. First person he named was Romeo Wilson. Romeo!
Oh, Romeo!
Romeo! I said, yeah, you don't even know his name. His name is Roman. T-Money, hey, bro, I appreciate you. I appreciate the kind words. Just messing with you a little bit. I do think it's always funny, though, when people want to disagree with me. It's like, Marsh, I love you, but. Romeo Wilson. It's just funny. I know you do, T-Money. I know what you're talking about, big dog. Look, not everyone's going to love everybody. I just see a little juice there. I still have Miss QB4. It's not like I'm saying this guy's going to come in and win the MVP. Gustini says, JJ have a good running ability. He absolutely does. He is, in my opinion, the second best runner in this class.
Is he a better mover with his legs than Caleb Williams? It's probably very close.
Very close. He is the best thrower out of structure in this class. 71% completion percentage.
Is that a product of his offensive line, keeping him safe?
Scrambles.
I know, but I feel like they still stay engaged with their blocks when he's scrambled.
I think it's about being able to move outside the pocket, keep your eyes downfield, and making a play when you got to make a play.
Keeping the eyes downfield is a big strength. I'm good. I'm glad he's able to do that.
I think you are ridiculous. McCarthy, in my opinion, uses his legs to buy time and to throw the ball, whereas others use their legs to run, and I like that in a quarterback.
I like that. That's For as far as the pro style, yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious. Logan Wilcox back again says money bags aren't ending today, Marsh.
Then he hit us with one of these.
And then he comes back with a $5 super chat. Says we need to hit that 500. Logan Wilcox, that's my guy right there. Hey, deal's a deal. We get to 500 today. Me and Smitty are going boot racing.
Yep.
We're going boot racing. Rich Rod, is that? Oh, that's different Rich Rod. I thought it was different Rich Rod. He says, look up JJ's numbers November through the championship game, red flag.
Uh-oh.
Wait, so we're judging quarterbacks off their stats in college?
No, he's just judging him when he wasn't playing East Carolina and the Sisters of the Blind.
Okay. What about the game-winning drive against Alabama?
Great game.
Okay. Was that in between November and the championship game?
think it fell somewhere in there.
Okay, I forgot. I just forgot the team. I said he played really good against that game-winning drive. Who was it?
It was Nick Saban. He actually retired Nick Saban.
Wait, so J.J. McCarthy put Nick Saban into retirement.
Yeah.
4 TDs in his last 6 games. Guys, we've been watching Daniel Jones for 6 years. We cannot be complaining about touchdown numbers. My point is this. He did whatever he had to win. All he did was win. Did he have a good team? Yes. Was he a reason the team was good? Yes. Team Money says if JJ's available round 4 or 5, he might pick him. Oh, look. I think he's a good player, and I'm going to be happy if he's a Giant because that means Daniel. Mar, we did this yesterday on Twitter, bro. Stop. J.J. McCarthy and Daniel Jones are nothing. The only thing that they are the same is they have the same white guy haircut, and they are both white. That's it. That's the only thing that is similar to Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy. They're white, and they have the pushover comb over. That's it.
They both kind of got some legs, too.
Damn, the dude threw 29 picks at Duke in the ACC.
And they picked him in the top 10.
Jiminy Christmas.
Then they paid him $150 million.
Still love you, Mar, but you're wrong, brother. Golden Spation, $5 super chat. What up, man? Do you think the Giants ownership keeps Joe Schoen around even if they have a mediocre season? The vision is there. Just might need a few more years. 29 picks in 38 games in the ACC, and he went 6th overall. Dave Gettleman is a war criminal, and he should be thrown under the prison. We're off the rails. I think that Joe Schoen is his seat is heating up, Spation, but I think that he's safe. He's safe for right now. I think he's fine. I don't think they're going to fire him. I think, though, that if the Giants are picking inside the top 10 next year, Brian Dable could be fired. Walter Inge, my man, what's up, bro? Says Marsh, love your takes. Just do it yourself. Love your sports vibe, dude. But do you think we can actually move up? Do you mean like we should kick Smitty off the show? Kick Seeps off the show?
I'm just trying to clown, man. I'm just having a good time.
Or you just want me to leave Chat Sports? Which one is it? I don't know which one it is. Leave Smitty? He says yes.
What?
Smitty's a good guy. He's actually a New Yorker.
I am a New Yorker.
He's actually more of a New Yorker than me. I was only born on Long Island. Shout out Port Jeff. I only lived there for about a year. My dad, New Yorker, 35 years. Smitty's born and bred New Yorker.
I was there this weekend, actually. I was up in the Empire this weekend in Brooklyn.
What was the most New York thing you did this weekend?
I ate a dirty water dog.
Dirty water dog?
Yeah, nice soubrette, snapping right off the bun.
What do you put on your dirty water dog?
Just ketchup.
Ketchup on a dog.
I don't get cute. I don't get cute. I had a couple of slices of za, which is good.
I could use a slice. I could use a real slice, man. Real slice. Yeah, Port Jeff. That's where we're from. Walter, I appreciate the kind moves. Do you think we can actually move up? Can we move up? Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I haven't said this before, but if the Minnesota Vikings find a way to trade inside the top 3 and the Giants don't, that's an indictment on Joe Schoen. That's an indictment.
Indictment? Is that what you said?
Look, if another team trades into the top 3, that means that team was willing to move down. And the Giants should be doing everything they can to move up to go get Drake May. You are nothing in this league until you have a quarterback. Giants have not had one since Geno Smith came in for Eli Manning to break the streak.
Shout out Geno.
Oh, my gosh.
Logan Wilcox reporting some fake news. We're going to keep that up for 2 seconds.
OBJ signed by the Giants, 1 year, $13 million. Just kidding.
He's funny for that.
You funny, dog.
Joseph, fiend.
Steven, that's the wrong Ricky. Ricky's account is down on Twitter. And you want Ricky213, not Ricky212.
We got to get Ricky back.
We got to get Ricky back. Now that we have fake Rickies, that's a problem.
Yeah, it was like fake dropping dimes back in last summer.
Exactly. Joseph, we appreciate it. Fiend. If you know, you know. Shout out to everybody in the building. 493 people watching. Let's talk some Trey White.
Yeah,
Let's talk some Trey White.
We've been chopping it for a while.
Shout out to everybody in the building. 500 people watching. 225 likes. $85 in super chats. You guys are the best. Just tell. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get into it. Mar, that's racist, dog. Said Daniel Jones and JJ are the same. Ain't nothing the same, but we're off that. On to the next. Let's go. Yeah, good stuff. That's good stuff. I love you, Mar. Let's go. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for taking time out of their busy schedule to rock and roll with us here on New York Giants Now as we get you caught up with everything surrounding this football team. Reports are coming out via Adam Schefter that the New York Giants have a free agency visit set up with former All-Pro cornerback Tre'Davious White. White is visiting the Rams today on Tuesday and is scheduled to meet with the Tennessee Titans, as well as the New York Football Giants later in the week. We've talked about here on this channel that the Giants need to improve that cornerback room. I'm a big fan of Deonte Banks. I like Nick McLeod as kind of that nickel guy that could play safety and compete on special teams, but the Giants don't have legit proven talent at the cornerback position outside of Banks. Getting a guy like White, who was once an All-Pro, still just 29 years old, has some injury issues, may be worth the price of admission. I know this, though. If Tre'Davious White becomes a New York Giant, we will be the first channel on YouTube getting a video out there. So subscribe to the channel for free, informative, entertaining updates every day on your New York Football Giants. We'll dive into Trey White's stats. I'll tell you what I think the contract should be and if the Giants should pull the trigger. But I think it is very fair for anybody to say that the New York Giants need to address the cornerback position. You're not bringing back a Dory Jackson this year. And outside of Deonte Banks, who is only a rookie and going to obviously be entering his sophomore season, they need to add more talent to that position group. Cordell Flott, third-round pick in that 2022 NFL draft, has just not lived up to the hype yet. Not ready to kick him to the curb, but I'm willing to know, or I'm understanding you need to add more talent. I like Nick McLeod, the do-it-all corner, can play in the slot, play outside, can play safety, can play on special teams as well, but he's not a player that I want getting a large portion of CB2 snaps on the outside. Trey Hawkins, drafted in the 6th round last year at Old Dominion. The only thing he proved to me in his rookie season is that he's not ready to play in this league. And Aaron Robinson, who was a mid-round pick in the 2021 NFL draft, if I remember correctly, has pretty much not played in the last 2 years. So the only player right now that you can suit up at the corner position is Deonte Banks. So going out and getting a guy like Trey White, I think makes a lot of sense. It's going to be like buying a lottery ticket because of the injuries. He's only played 4 games in 2023. Stats aren't all that impressive. Like, you're not going to be able to see too much of the production in just a 4-game sample size. 12 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups, and 1 INT. You look at what he does in some of his coverage grades. He was targeted 15 times. He allowed 9 completions, better than a 50% completion percentage, not ideal. Allowed 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 2 PBUs, 1 INT. And when he was targeted, he allowed a quarterback rating of 80.6. But you look back at some recent years, and he's had some good success. In 2020, he was a stud. 11 pass breakups, 3 INTs. But as you notice, games played continued to go down year by year. 14 to 11 to 6 to 4. And the production, along with the availability, has somewhat started to dwindle. He's played just 21 games in the last 3 seasons. And that's something that I'm not the biggest fan of. I've said it a lot of times on this show. Sometimes the best ability is availability. And 21 games in 3 years is just not available enough. Smart, tough, dependable. Dependability was such a big thing for the New York Giants this offseason. John Runyon doesn't miss games. Devin Singletary doesn't miss games. Brian Burns doesn't miss games. Illuminor doesn't miss games. That's why they signed him, and they made it a priority to sign those guys on day one of NFL free agency. Whereas Trey White, even though he's a former All-Pro, the availability has been a question the last couple of years. I like him as a player. Still just 29 years old. Obviously, when healthy, I still think he's one of the best corners in this league. The question is, though, will he be healthy? That's why if I'm going to sign him to a deal, it's not going to be a lot of money. And if there's anybody I'm going to trust when it comes to signing Trey White, it's going to be Brian Daboll and it's going to be Joe Schoen because of their connection with the Buffalo Bills. Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator while Trey White was there, and Joe Schoen was the assistant general manager, and he was a part of the staff that brought Trey White to town when he was a number one draft pick, first round draft pick at LSU. So if they want to bring him in and they think it's fair to do so, I would support it wholeheartedly. What do you think, though? I want you to sit in the seat of Joe Schoen and decide it for me. Should the Giants sign Trey White in NFL free agency? You need help at corner. He's 29, and that's some injury issues. It's going to come down to the contract for me, but let me know what you think. Type S for sign, type P for pass. For me, the only real way I'm going to bring in White is if you're signing a one-year deal with a low amount of guaranteed money attached to it. Like, I would sign him for a one-year deal up to $5 million with $2.5 million guaranteed. I'm not going much further into my pockets than that to pay a guy that hasn't played more than 21 games in the last 3 seasons. You look at actually his Pro Football Focus grades throughout his career, he came into the NFL great. There's a reason he was a former All-Pro. Graded out as an 88.5 and an 89.8 in the coverage department. But every single season, his snap count has gone down over 1,000 to just over 960, to just over 950, to just over 875, to 630, to 300, to 182. The coverage grades are still fine when he's playing, and I think it helped this football team. But availability is a question mark. I would sign him 1 year, low guaranteed money. If you're not going to go out and sign Tre'Davious White, some other top corners that are still available, as it is a massive need still on this football team, I'm looking at a guy like Xavier Howard. I've always been a big fan of his coming out of Baylor. I think he's got some of the best ball skills in the National Football League. He's led the league in interceptions before. Just 30 years old. Best days are behind him, but I still think there's some productivity in front of him that the Giants could use if they sign a guy like him. If you want to go to another, maybe a Hall of Fame cornerback at this point, Stephon Gilmore, man. I would really love to sign Stephon Gilmore. Of all the corners we're going to talk about on today's show, Gilmore is the number one on my list. He just might be the most expensive. Getting to have Gilmore in the same room as Deonte Banks for even if it's only a year, I think would be massive for the development, growth, and maturation of a guy like Tay Banks' game. Gilmore's one of the best to do it. And he's still good. Is he elite anymore? No. Still a productive player. Still a top 32 corner in this league. Would love to see him with the NY on the side of his helmet. Christian Fulton is another guy I'm keeping my eyes on. Still young, just 25 years old, and he played for the Tennessee Titans last year. So he has a relationship with new defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. Has not been great in his NFL career. Pro Football Focus has not been kind to him when assessing his grades and his critiques. Needs to get better. I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him, and I like the connection that he has with the current defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. If you're looking for a slot corner, Avonte Maddox is someone that I think the Giants should keep their eyes on. 27 years old. He's played in the slot predominantly throughout his career. Not the best slot corner, but it's a position of need. As I'm not so sure who the slot corner is going to be this year. Don't have the most confidence in slot. Maybe it's Nick McLeod. But adding a guy that's done it before, I think Avonte Maddox would make a lot of sense. I want you guys to get out the red pen, though, for me. Be honest with me in the chat. Grade the Giants free agency so far. A, B, C, D, or F. If you had to grade the work that Joe Schoen's done through a week and a half of free agency, give me a grade down in the comment section. And remember, you can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at @MarshallGreen_ is the handle on both. Hit me up over there so you never miss a thing when it comes to the New York Giants. And go get his freaking corner, Joe Schoen. Get it done. We'll see you later. Let's go, Big Blue. If I had to grade the New York Giants free agency so far, it's a strong B for me. It's a strong B for me. A strong B for me. Strong B for me. Knicks Nation says Maddox is trash. Yeah, so is a lot of corners on this Giants team. And at the end of the day, It's a week and a half into free agency. No studs are left, and we're operating and having to buy players essentially with a low amount of cap space. So, yeah, you're not getting the best players in the world. So, there is that. Mar says Joe said he was going to help the O-line. He did that. He did. And that was our number one want for Joe Schoen this offseason, was to go and invest in the offensive line. He did that. I would have gone about investing in the offensive line maybe a little different way, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and let his plan unfold. We do have a couple of super chats coming in. We'll pop those up, and then we'll jump into our Mel Kiper mock draft. Kiper just released his latest mock draft. Rob Simpy put in a B. I get it. A B. Logan Wilcox, say we're on our own 5-yard line. We need a game-winning drive. Who do you trust, J.J. McTrashy or playoff-winning Kirk Cousins beating Vanilla Vic? I would trust Kirk Cousins. I don't know if that's like...
He's trying to say Vanilla Vic who beat Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
Which isn't really the flex you think it is.
It's not, considering that defensive coordinator has been out of a job in the National Football League for the last 2 years, and they were one of the worst coordinators in NFL history. And that game quite literally set the Giants back years, because it was that game that got Daniel Jones paid.
It really did.
So
it's that game that made you guys all believe in Daniel Jones as a guy who could take you guys to a Super Bowl contending level when he really cannot.
People love Daniel Jones. I get it. He seems like a nice guy. Nice guys don't win Super Bowls. Good quarterbacks do. Nick, what up, dog?
Hey, I'll say you guys asked some good questions, though.
Bruh. Do you think if you put yourself in Joe Schoen's shoes, he def should move up and get the QB like they strictly because it buys him more time to develop him if he picks a wide receiver? We're the Jets mess. If I was Joe Schoen, I would be doing whatever it takes to go up and draft Drake May. I would do whatever it takes to go get Drake May. But I'm not trading up for Jaden Daniels, and I'm not trading up for J.J. McCarthy. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. There's only one quarterback. Obviously, I would trade up for Caleb Williams. I think he's generational, but he's going number one, obviously, with Justin Fields now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Kind of crazy to say that out loud. But, yeah, I would trade up. And do I think he's strictly doing it because it buys him more time? No. Because if you draft that quarterback, yeah, it gives you one more year, but I don't think he's operating like that. Mike G, the best initials in the building. Shout out to MG. What up, man? That's my guy right there. The February bang god of this channel. Whenever Mike G's in the chat, show him some love. What up, bro? Marsh. What up, man? Saw a trade down scenario with top 4 QBs gone. How far down would you go, and who would you target based on how far down you go? Great question. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So I've kind of been on this where I'm only really trading down if it nets me a future first-round pick or if I get 2 first-round picks in the first round. Whereas, say the Vikings want to move up to 6, and I get the pick that they have at 11, and I believe 20. What was the Texans pick they had? 22 or something like that. Like if I got both their first-round picks to come up to 1, I would do that. 23. Appreciate it, Mar. I'm only trading down if I'm getting a extra first this year or an extra first next year. Because if you trade down, you're punting on drafting a quarterback, most likely. And in return, you're adding future draft capital, and then that can be used to go up and move up in the draft in 2025 if there's a quarterback that you like. If I fall down to 11, let's say we trade down with the Vikings and we get 11 and 23. I'm still hoping that you get an offensive playmaker. Obviously, Odunze won't be there. Neighbors won't be there. Maybe it's Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe it's Brock Bowers. I don't know if he'll be there at 11.
A lot of guys are very high on Brian Thomas Jr.
They are. He's rising.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get scared of these late draft process risers.
What's the reason?
What changed?
Yeah.
Well, you guys just now getting to his tape?
The film, yeah. The film has been there for a couple months now. LSU was not that good.
The only thing I will say, Mike G, is this. I think we've had this conversation, but for all 500 people watching. You don't want to pass up an opportunity on drafting a blue chip prospect to move down to then maybe draft someone you hope is a blue chip prospect. I go back to the 2021 NFL draft where the Giants had the 10th or 11th pick, and they traded down Smitty with the Chicago Bears. They passed up on drafting Micah Parsons. They passed up on drafting Rashawn Slater.
Oof.
They did get a future first-round pick. They moved down 9 spots, and they reach on Kadarius Toney.
Uh-oh. That's not
So
good.
it's like, at the time, you're like, oh my God, you're staying in the first round and you're getting a first-round pick. Fast forward 2 years later, Micah Parsons is having his bust in Canton sketched right now, and Rashawn Slater's an all-pro tackle.
Yeah.
So I don't want to trade too far down where I take myself out of the blue chip player pool, but I also like the idea of adding 2 first-round picks. I also really like, I'm blanking on the corner's name. I want to say it's the corner out of Toledo in the late first round.
Oh, I've actually heard
I
of this
like him
guy's
a lot. I like him a lot. He may be
Mike G also made a good point. I believe it was it was Joseph Santiago. Mike G told Logan Wilcox to go take a lap. That was funny.
Love that. Good stuff, Mike.
Joseph Santiago said only 8 of the last 30 number 1 quarterback picks are with their original team. So 8 of the last 30 first-round quarterbacks are with their original team. That's a 26% rate, 27%.
Quinion Mitchell, exactly, John. That guy's a stud.
Quinion Mitchell, yeah.
If you could have him and Deontay Banks on the outside for the next 7 years, that's NYPD right there. Long answer there. I don't know if I answered it. I think I did. I don't want to drop much lower than 11. Because I still think you can get a great player at 11. Not so sure after that. Then you're kind of hoping and projecting and I don't want to say reaching because that's not fair to these guys. None of these guys are necessarily reaches at 11, but like I think Rome Odunze is going to be great. I think Malik Neighbors is going to be great.
Agree.
I think Joe Alt is going to be great. Do I want to pass on those 3 guys to draft a player that has a lower chance of being great? I don't know.
Usually you want guys who are going to be great.
Yeah. And the Giants, they need more great football players.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got a proven one, like a for sure fire one, that'd be really good. We're going to get to our mailbag coming up in a second. Get your questions in, #Giants or Super Chat to get on today's show. Mr. Rick says, but Marshall, it is Tuesday and I missed the show. We're just getting started. We still got 3 more segments to get into.
Yeah.
Producer Seeps couldn't produce today. He's too busy doing
Hollywood.
Minnesota Vikings videos or something.
Hollywood Seeps.
Yeah, so Seeps may not be on Giants now anymore.
Might be Smitty's ordeal now.
I'll take it.
Listen, I was getting a little bit of love from one of my guys in the chat. He said I'm a good compliment to the show. I like it. I think the back and forth we have is pretty solid.
I do too. And you bring some real New Yorkism to the chat.
At least the accent, if nothing else.
Seeps never ever has had a dirty water dog.
I don't think he has. They got the thick meaty hot dogs in Chicago. Those shitbags.
Shitbags is a great word. I love that.
It is good.
Nick's Galaxy in the building. What's up, man? What's up, bro? Mar, quit hating on my guy Smitty, dog.
Bro, Mar, I actually like you. You're a bucket of information here. You gave us the draft pick that the Vikings gave away. You gave us the.
He's just wrong about Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he thinks they're better than they are.
John says, Marsh, where are you from? I am from Houston, Texas. I was born on Long Island, but I'm raised in Houston, Texas. My dad is a New Yorker of 35 years. So
Scaper, I'm not a Giants fan officially. Listen, I've definitely taken some heat off of the Giants over the past couple of years. All my friends, all my family are Giants fans, though. So I'm very well immersed in the culture up there.
So you're the oddball.
I am the oddball. I chose to bandwagon with my buddy, who actually ended up going back to the Giants like a year later. He left me.
What a guy.
I know. He's a real one.
Oh, man. Long Island in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out Port Jeff. The Hibby says.
We got any Hudson Valley people in here? 845, stand up.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, 845.
845?
The Great 4-5, as some people like to call it.
The Great 4-5.
That's
I
right.
like
That's
that.
right.
I like that.
I'm a Seahawks fan, Golden Station. I know it's pretty embarrassing.
Sammy says no one is from there.
Shane Tompkins.
Shane
baby.
Tompkins says 845. Ryan says 845.
Stand up, Valley Central. I'm G-Town, Goshen, baby. What's going on?
They don't know about that Valley life.
They don't know about that HV life.
Hempstead Horn? What the hell is that?
That's Long Island, I'm pretty sure.
Really? Shane Tompkins, what up, man? Valley Stream?
Valley Stream. Is he? He said he shot out Nassau County, so that's Long Island.
That's hilarious. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Shout out to everybody in the building. 480 people watching. If y'all could, please hit that thumbs up icon. It's the easiest way to support the channel.
Joseph Zambrowski says Warwick. Shout out Warwick. That's a rival hometown of mine.
Smitty, we're getting closer and closer to the deal today.
Yeah, we are.
We got a long way to go.
About $380 to go.
We're at $120 in super chats. If we get to 500, me and Smitty are beer boot racing here on a Tuesday.
I'm in.
Marsh, give me the Corinne message. Ah, yes, I was supposed to do that. Yikes. I apologize. I was out of town all weekend, so I apologize for that. But Corinne found a place that will send you jersey nameplates. Correct, Corinne? Correct? I think that was what it was. That is what it was. I may be fumbling the message here. Yes, it is a company, Mr. Rick, that will give you a new nameplate for a place. But I meant to tell Corinne was he already found a place in New Jersey. That's why I forgot to tell him. Now I remembered. Yeah, they have the nameplates on Amazon. The coolest thing that's happened so far through free agency is Mr. Rick has a 26 Saquon Barkley jersey with the Giants. He's ripping off Barkley on the back. He's putting real one on the back. That's real stuff. Mike G, I got to get out to New York and New Jersey, man. Smitty was supposed to take me this weekend.
That's crazy. He never asked to pull up. He was laughing when I said I was flying up to Brooklyn.
Mr. Rick, I will send it to you. I will do it right now so I do not forget.
Marshall, actually, his next time up to the Northeast is going to be with me when we go up to Boston for the Boston Celtics parade when they win the championship.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mike G says you can come, Smitty. Smitty's a local. He'll be showing me around. Mr. Rick, I'm sending it to you right now.
I was chilling around the concrete jungle all weekend, baby. We could get lit in Hoboken. What's the moves?
Lit in Hoboken.
Big Dave says 845 Greenwood Lake. Yeah, my buddy's got a boat on Greenwood Lake. My mom vacation there. That's local, baby.
Mars had some horrible takes today. He said J.J. McCarthy and Daniel Jones are the same, and he also says Boston clears the Knicks. Quite literally, the Celtics are scared of the Knicks.
No. Nobody thinks that. Only delusional people think that.
Jalen Brunson would be the best player in that series, and I'm not sure it's close.
Huh?
I'm not sure it's close.
That's crazy. Hey, he plays great off too, though.
Michael Pinto. What up, Pinto? $10 super chat says, thank you for the love, bro. Says, I know Singletary is good out of the backfield, but thoughts on drafting a guy like Bucky Irving, who is a great receiving option out of the backfield? I believe no matter what, Mike, they got to add another running back. I like Singletary. My initial reaction was maybe they paid a little bit too much, but we're separating hairs at this point with that. I think he's a good runner. I think he has a specific style. We know what he is. He's an in-between the tackle runner, hard-nosed, downhill, run through some arm tackles. Not elite breakaway speed. Adding a guy like Bucky Irving out of the backfield was awesome. Didn't he really have a bad pro day or combine? Didn't Bucky Irving have a really bad combine? I believe that was him.
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask.
I'll look it up real quick.
I don't think I watched 4 seconds of the combine.
Yeah, he had a really bad combine. Ran a 4.5 40. His RAS score out of 1 to 10 is a 2.2. So not good for him.
Mike G.
Bang!
Woo!
Bang!
Bow.
3-point
goal. Mike G.
Bang! Bang!
Boom!
Mike G with a $100 super chat. Everybody get the MGs. Boom, 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 boom. Get the MGs in the chat. Get the MGs in the chat. That's a legend.
Absolutely electric. Mike G holding it down.
Mike G is running away once again with the March Bang competition.
He's cooking.
What stinks is the jersey that I'm supposed to be getting him. I wonder if it's because it's the offseason right now. Some of the sizes and some of the colors are just not available.
Really?
Like they don't have any white Giants jerseys that are customized available.
Really?
And
what about the throwback?
I sent him the blue throwback one.
And
I have bad news to tell him, which stinks.
Wrong size?
Only 3X.
Oh.
How do we only have 3Xs?
Come on. How do you not just print more? How do you ever run out of stock of jerseys?
Like, especially the custom ones.
Yeah.
It's literally just a material.
It's just the fabric. How is there a shortage?
It's ridiculous.
What's going on here?
It's ridiculous.
Frank AI says, then that's what I was referencing. He said, P.O.P., hold it down.
What? What is going on in here?
Listen, when Smitty comes on Giants Now, we get off the rails. We've been going for an hour and 15 already, and we have done one segment.
240 in soups. We're all right. Hey, Mike G. You're a legend, dude.
I do a beer shotgun? I feel like I got to do a beer shotgun for Mike G. Do we have time for that?
We could do some beer shotgun.
All right, bet.
Go grab them. Grab me a warm HD, please. If you want to grab the tool, I think it's on my desk. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. Look at fucking Smitty. I love that dude. Smitty is awesome. Off the rails we go. Off the rails we go. IQ says, I feel like you're disrespecting Eric Gray. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. And I think I said it. I want to still give him a crack at it. But I still think you could add another running back. There's no problem with having 3 good running backs. And I wouldn't mind drafting a running back in the 4th or 5th round every single year until you hit on one. Mike G, we're going to get it figured out. And you're going to have 2 coming your way. So, you're going to have 2 coming your way. Because you're going to once again be the bang god here of March. We're going to figure something out. Shout out to Mike G. That's my guy. Mad love. Let's go. Razor Shockwave came in with a $5 super chat. Still here. Just, I'm going to do Smitty's job for him because he's no longer in the building. Shout out to Razor Shockwave with a $5 super chat. Used to be a producer. I know what I'm doing here. Shout out to my guy. He says, Marsh. Hey, buddy, I want J.J. McCarthy. I said that months ago. Go Wolverines. Also, I really hope for Xavier Legette. Hope all is well. Let's go, Giants. F26. Can we get some F26s in the chat? Let's get the F26s in the chat. I don't know if you were here that day, Smitty. Oh, no, wait. Were you here when he retweeted a reply to my tweet? Yeah. And then I went at him a little bit. Oh, I unfollowed him. I'm ready to send his jersey to Hong Kong. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Maybe we don't say the F26s because Singletary is still now number 26. Yeah, I love it. I told you guys, if I were the Giants, if you own a Saquon Barkley jersey and you want to trade it in for a Devin Singletary one, I'll give it to you for free. That's what I would do if I was the Giants. That would stick it to him. What did Snaquan say? So he retweeted. So I posted that video, Mar. I don't know if you saw it, where it was just a compilation of Saquon Barkley say he wants to be a Giant for life. And one of his friends responded, talking about it's quite literally impossible for him to be a Giant for life if they didn't offer him a contract. And then Saquon retweeted that. And then I chirped at him, and then the guy, Saquon's friend, he deleted his Twitter. So I think Saquon said, hey, bro, delete your Twitter. And then Saquon said he didn't handle it right. Yeah, it's large. What happened to the tool? I'm scared for this, dude. Smitty, we don't have any tool today. Smitty's going to make me cut myself on the aluminum. Shout out to Razor Shockwave. Look, J.J. McCarthy, if J.J. McCarthy is on the board at number 6, he's going to be a Giant, guys. Like, I just want to prep you for that. If J.J. McCarthy is on the clock at 6, he'll be a Giant. Splash Bro says, how do I trade in my Saquon jersey? How long have you had your Saquon jersey? Mar, I'm telling you, the Giants are not passing on him. And that's not even what I would do. I'm just telling you what I know. What I know. If I did see that if you've bought a Saquon Barkley jersey in the last 3 months, you can return it, and Fanatics will get you a new one. All right. So now I'm like, which way do I do this now?
Oh, did I fuck it up?
No, like this?
No.
Like
definitely,
this.
Definitely, when you have got to be pointing up.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Cheers. Mike G.
Shout out Mike G.
Shout out Mike G. Let's go. Ugh. I don't know why I thought I cut myself. Are we good?
Good.
No blood. No blood. No blood. No foul.
Right.
No blood. No foul. We're good, baby. How sharp. Woo! That's right. Throwing shade. $2 super chat. We appreciate it, bro. I like Bo Nix over J.J. McCarthy. I don't see it with Bo Nix. I don't see it. Could be wrong. Nope. You like that one? Can you start writing these down? Nope. Can you start writing them down? Can you start writing these down? I think it'd be pretty cool if we had a little book of the weird things that Marshall Green says. Like, I'm ready to send Saquon Barkley's jersey to Hong Kong. Why? Because I think it'd be cool to look back on it. What if we did a video at the end of the year and it's like, these are all the things Marshall Green said.
Get ready to learn Modell's clearance rack, buddy.
I am writing them down. Nope, you crack me up, dog. Shout out to the throwing shade. Bo Nix over JJ, wide receiver in round 1. I don't think Bo Nix over JJ, but I'm cool with a receiver in round 1.
I'm also not 100% sure that Bo Nix is going to make it all the way to the Giants pick in round 2.
You seem like a Bo Nix guy.
He kind of has that 4-letter word.
Aura.
Oh.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Yep.
Get ready to learn that Battlehawks offense.
That's the NFL version of China. That Battlehawks offense.
The Bronx boy in the building. Mar says I'm a Bo Nix guy. Yep, that says a lot about you.
That's all we need to know.
That's all we need to know about Mar. Bo Nix, Celtics over Knicks, and Daniel Jones and McCarthy are the same.
He's right about that second one, though.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Golden Spatian, what up, man? Appreciate the love. Says some dude at Moe's has Commander's Crocs. We'll see ya.
Oh, boy.
Moe's is like kind of live.
Moe's is fire.
Oregon Ducks all the way. You are an Oregon fan, Mar. I forgot that.
I feel like the Bo Nix is valid then. If
One thing that like I'm envious of, since I don't live in New York or New Jersey, is like going into Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods or any sporting goods store.
Oh, and seeing all Giants gear.
And seeing all the Giants gear there.
You know what's funny?
It's awesome.
It is all Giants gear too. No Jets gear unless you're on Long Island. I mean, they got a couple of things, but it is dominated by Giants gear, especially where I live.
Down here in Dallas, I got to see Cowboys gear. Don't tell anyone, but every time I go to a store and I see a Cowboys jersey, I rip it off the rack and I step on it.
Yep.
Don't tell anyone, though.
Don't tell, yeah.
That might be illegal.
Yep.
Brian Combs coming back says, let's get Eagles week 1 and week 2. How about we start with like the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
Week 1. Let's go 1-0.
That's it.
Let's have some hope. Let's have some hope. Brian, appreciate you. The big moo. That's my guy right there. What's up, man? Says, what happened with Adoree, Marshy? He just fell off. He's not going to be a Giant next year. He's going to sign somewhere else. Best days are behind him. Too injury prone. And it's just over. His days as a Giant are over.
That's unfortunate.
I thought he played really good his first 2 years. I thought he was really bad last year. Really bad. He says, MG double banged. I missed it. Yeah, dude, he double banged so hard. You missed it.
It was fire.
It was fire. It was fire. Greg says, stop fooling around and get to Mel Kiper's mock.
Hey, we could do that.
We could do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show love to the people that support this channel and send their hard-earned money to get their questions answered before getting to that mock. I think that's the most fair thing to do.
OD. We are about halfway to our boot race, if you guys are, at all curious.
We are halfway. We are halfway. Well, make it $200. Because this one's rolling in from T-Rex Bang! Oh! This one's rolling in from Anderson Castillo! Bang! Bang! Woo-hoo! Let's go!
Oh my God!
T-Rex with a bang! And then Anderson! Do! Castillo!
Boom! Boom!
Shit. He said, T-Rex says, F Mel Kiper, we are not sticking king with Daniel Jones.
I mean, listen. Mel Kiper, he might be an idiot.
You guys fucking get me fired up. You guys are the best, man. For real.
A word?
For real. It's a double feature.
It's wild.
Oh my gosh.
This shit's a movie, dog.
I can't believe this is my life.
Smiling through it all.
Brian Burns is a giant.
Can't believe this is my life. And then Anderson Castillo, absolute legend.
Says, rookie chuggers, bet you won't do another.
That's crazy.
That's
calling us out like that.
Crazy, Anderson.
Calling us out like that as if I ain't coming off screen right now to go get some more happy days.
You got to find the tool, dude. I feel like I almost cut myself. Neil says, save all that cheering for a Giants win, guys. Silly men. Neil, are you ready to go to the Thunderdome? Really? We're not allowed to show love to people that show love to us. If you don't like that, you're probably in the wrong place. Because when people send in their hard-earned money to support this channel, because the money doesn't go in my pocket, it goes back in the channel. We're able to get producer Smitty a job here who started in August. We're able to do more channels. We're able to have more producers. That way when Seeps is busy with Vikings, we're still able to get you guys free, informative, entertaining Giants content. I'm sorry. If you don't like that, you're just never going to like this channel. I'm sorry. Just the way that it be. Shout out to Anderson Castillo. Castillo, what's up, dog? AC's going on the helmet 2 times. Shout out to AC. And then also, my guy T-Rex. T-Rex going on the helmet as well. Every $50 super chat you send in, we'll get you a sticker on our helmet here on New York Giants Now. This is our Hall of Fame here on the channel. We show love to everybody. We can never repay y'all for the love that you guys show. But we try to do fun, cool stuff like this. And we'll be giving away this helmet once it gets filled up with stickers. And if you guys keep showing the love that y'all do, we're going to be getting more and more helmets because this shit's filling up super, super quick. The Bronx Boy! A $20 super chat. My man Bronx Boy's cooking up that secret sauce. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Shout out to T-Rex. Says, F Mel Kiper, we are not sticking with Daniel Jones. I agree. T-Rex on the helmet as well. We've almost got one of the sides fully filled up. We're going to continue to get that going. Shout out to all of you guys. Smitty went to go grab some more beers. So I'm going to do his job of getting the super chats up on screen. Throwing shade. $2 super chat says, why wasn't the franchise tag put on McKinney? Because the Giants didn't want to pay him that much money. I just think that's what it comes down to. Oh, my gosh. Me either. Why wasn't the tag put on Xavier McKinney? The Giants didn't think he was worth that money. I think that's really just all it comes down to. There's a reason, and that's just the reason. They didn't value him at the $16 million that the franchise tag would have costed. So, and also they wanted to, Michael says that McKinney's slow on Madden anyways. I used to live that life where I only wanted players that the Giants to add that were good on Madden. McKinney's a good player. I'm not trying to say he's not. He's 24 years old. He's only going to get better and better. But he just plays a position that the Giants don't have the luxury of overpaying right now. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. Love that. Ooh. Watermelon. Should have tagged Barkley and traded him not to the Eagles. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? The Big Moo comes in with a super chat. We'll go to the frickin' Bronx boy, dude. I love you, man. He says, I got kids, wife, and a mortgage, so I can't bang, but I got help. Bronx boy, you're doing more banging than you're leading on. With kids and a mortgage, you've done a lot of banging in your time. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Nope says, are you ready for this, Marsh? I'm always ready, bro. Marsh, if you know, you know. Hey, what's understood doesn't have to be explained, Bronx boy. You don't get a mortgage and kids without doing a little $50 banging, if you know what I'm saying. OD. Double S.
All right, gang.
Secret sauce. Marsh. Double S. I love that. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
For the G-Men.
For the G-Men. Let's ride.
Too easy.
Buckets. Woo! Anderson. Bet you won't do another. He said he won't. He bet we won't do another. How about you don't do another? We're $82 away from a beer boot race, Smitty. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Don't actually send that in, Anderson. I don't want to do that. Be a horrible idea if we didn't do the mailbag.
That would be a terrible idea.
It would be a terrible idea if we talked about free agent targets and cut the mailbag and did a beer boot race once we got to 500. Considering all we've been doing is mailbag the whole show.
The whole show's a mailbag.
That's what I love about this show. Lando says, do you guys have memberships? I don't think so.
Like for Giants Now?
No, we don't. Oh, that second one hurt.
I feel like that could be something explored in the future.
I agree. What would you guys want in a membership? You got to get something, right?
Yeah. It's got to be like something you get every month. A little knick-knack or two, something a little personalized.
Oh, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Hey.
We're going to look into that, Lando. We're going to look into that. All right. Let's talk free agency targets. Giants still need to add some players to this team. They could have up to almost $30 million in cap space if they make a couple of moves. So we can dive into that. I can't guarantee that we're going to get this mailbag. And I know that sucks, but I can't guarantee it. I'm too happy dads in. I haven't eaten anything today. So the only thing in my stomach is happy dads. And I'm feeling it. So I don't love to do these segments intoxicated, but
Happy Dads aren't many calories, but they are a good bit of alcohol. So like
they hit you.
They don't exactly they hit you right away, pretty much. Especially when you're shotgunning them.
Mar, what's your question, dog? All I need is a safety and quarterback. Get it done, Joe. That ain't a question.
We will answer your question, Mar.
Mar, comment right now, and I'll answer it. You and your freaking hate of the Knicks and J.J. McCarthy and...
Oh, man, Marsh, Oh, no. I sliced my finger. Damn.
Bad?
No. I'll be all right. It's going to hurt like a bitch, but...
I had a feeling I thought I sliced my lip a little bit.
Got me right across literally right across the way.
We got to get more tools.
Got to get more tools. I don't know who keeps stealing them. We used to have 2.
How does Philly have more money than us? It's a great question. That's probably the question everybody wants to know, right? I don't know. Every offseason, it seems like they have money to spend.
Right? Every year.
Every year
they just sign major free agents.
They get Devin White. They get Huff. They get Barkley. They're going to have to trade, I think.
Well, they also got guys retiring, so those contracts are voided, like a Jason Kelsey and a Fletcher Cox.
They're going to trade Reddick.
They have to trade Reddick.
They're going to trade Reddick. There's no way they can keep him because they're going to keep Sweat. All righty. We're up to $418 in Super Chats. We're 82 away from a boot race.
We got a mock draft.
82 away from a boot race. All right, let's get into it. I just want
to get blood on this mouse.
Hurts is due $93 million in 2029. Is that true?
93 what?
$93 million? Is that true?
That's a lot of dough. $93 million cap hit would be insanity.
Justin Herbert has like a 70-something.
Really? This guy's making Russell Wilson.
Yep, he has a cap number of $97 million in 2029. What does that mean? They're just going to restructure and push that down the line, hoping he's still
everybody's getting Shohei Ohtani'd.
Love that. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk some New York Giants football, and let's talk some NFL draft. Let's do it. NFL draft season is here, and Mel Kiper is back at it with another mock draft. He just released his 3rd mock draft of the NFL offseason, and what he did with the New York Giants at the 6th overall pick was very interesting. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, and let's dive into it. Number 1 overall, Mel Kiper had Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC, going to the Bears. You can take out your Sharpies, and you can just write that in. Caleb Williams, he is going to be a Chicago Bear. Number 2 overall, Jaden Daniels, Heisman winner, quarterback, LSU, is heading to Washington to be the Commanders' franchise quarterback. And then after that, another quarterback goes. So you have quarterback, and Drake May at North Carolina will be going to the New England Patriots. Then you get a run on receivers with Marvin Harrison Jr., I like to call him Baby A.J. Green, is going to the Arizona Cardinals. And then you have Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU, going to the Los Angeles Chargers, which means the New York Giants are on the clock. And Caleb Williams is gone, Jaden Daniels is gone, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Malik Neighbors is gone. I want everyone to take the seat of Joe Schoen. Everyone sit in Joe Schoen's seat. And let's say you are on the clock. And this is the first 5 picks of the draft. Williams goes, Daniels goes, Mays goes, Marvin Harrison Jr. goes, and Malik Neighbors goes. If this is how the NFL draft played out and you're on the clock, let me know right now the player that you would select to be the next member of the New York Football Giants. With the 6th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Mel Kiper Jr. in his mock draft 3.0 has Joe Schoen and the New York Giants selecting wide receiver, Washington, Rome Odunze. I love that name, Rome Odunze. That just sounds like a ball player. The Giants, they have a major need at wide receiver 1, and hopefully by selecting Odunze at that spot, he fixes that position. Kiper said this about Odunze and the Giants. This would make back-to-back quarterbacks at the top of the board, and then back-to-back wideouts right after that. That's how loaded these position groups are. The Giants have improved the receiving core over the past 2 years, re-signing Darius Slayton, drafting Jalen Hyatt and Wan'Dale Robinson. are their top 3 guys right now. But they don't have a true number 1 guy who can dominate on the outside. They could add that in Odunze, a touchdown machine and a 6'3" frame. The Giants 100% need a true wide receiver. And I love the idea of adding a wide receiver that dominates outside the numbers, because you have a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson who operates out of the slot. You have a guy like Jalen Hyatt who had his best career or best years in college operating out of the slot in Tennessee. And Darius Slayton, he can play on the outside, but you always have 2 guys on the outside. The Giants haven't had a number 1 wide receiver since prior to the pandemic. It is 2024. Look at the Giants' leading receivers over the last 5 seasons. It's a joke. Darius Slayton leads the team in yards with 744. Darius Slayton leads the team in yards in 724. Kenny Golladay, 521. Darius Slayton, 751. Darius Slayton, 740. You haven't had a receiver get 800 yards receiving in 5+ seasons. It is time to address the position with a premium player. Because you don't still really have that many guys that have proved it in the National Football League. I think Slayton's a good 2 or 3. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is a good slot. I think Hyatt has some high upside. And Isaiah Hodgins, who was 4th in the team in catches last year, is a free agent, and you're not planning to re-sign him, is what it sounds like. The Giants need a wide receiver 1. And Rome Odunze is just that. He is an absolute stud, standing at 6'3", 250 pounds. The guy had 92 grabs. 92 grabs for 1,640 yards last year with 13 TDs and a long catch of 52 yards. One of my favorite parts about Odunze is his route running. A lot of people talk about route running as someone that can run through a lot of ladder drills and cone drills. That was Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy doesn't run good routes. Routes in the NFL and being able to run good routes to get open are about timing, leverage, IQ, and balance. And Odunze, in my opinion, does the best job of any receiver in this league of creating separation downfield, but getting into that blind spot of a defender. And what I mean by that is when you run a go route, some people just run it straight. He's going to wiggle with it and make the DB operate his hips in a way to where if he operates his hips this way, he gets into the blind spot right here, and then Odunze can break it off and get open. He is excellent. He is a mature route runner. And he's also one of the best receivers in this class. Look at what he's done for Washington over the last 2 seasons. 20 touchdowns in 27 games. All he does is score tutties. 92 grabs, 640 yards, 18 yards per catch. 18 yards per catch. All he does is get open downfield. He is a stud. He would fix the Giants' wide receiver 1 problems. And he tested better than anybody thought at the NFL Combine. On a scale of 1 to 10, his relative athletic score was a 9.6. He ran a 40 at 4.4 at 6'2", almost 6'3", in no shoes, 212 pounds. He had a vertical jump of 39. The guy jumps out of the gym. He goes up and gets it. He can run every route on the route tree. What I would say is the difference between him and a guy like Malik Neighbors is his ability to generate yards after the catch. Odunze is not exactly that type of guy. And I think when you look at his 40-yard dash with his 20-yard and 10-yard splits, it shows you that. He had a slow 10-yard split. He had a slow 20-yard split. But once he got up to his top speed is a lot higher than a lot of other people in this league. Look at what he did in 2023. Number 1 in the nation in deep catches. Number 1 in the nation in contested catches. Number 1 in the nation in deep yards. And drop is not in his vocabulary because he only did it 3 times last year. Rome is great, and he operates outside the numbers. And the Giants need a guy like that can put pressure on the boundary and stretch the field not only vertically but horizontally, because they don't have anyone that puts any fear in defensive coordinators' hearts at nights that operates on the outside of the numbers. Can Daniel Jones get him the football, though? I mean, that's a question everybody wants to know. Maybe it will just be somebody else. I want everyone, though, to get out their red pen and let me know. Grade Mel Kiper's pick of Rome Odunze to the Giants. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick of Rome Odunze at number 6 to the New York Giants. I'll tell you my grade around the corner, and I'll tell you if I would have selected Rome Odunze at that spot. But first, I got to let you guys in on a little bit of secret. When you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. March Madness is here, ladies and gentlemen, and now is the time to play Prize Picks. There is no better month in the calendar to play Prize Picks than right now. And also, they are offering all kinds of specials. As football season may be over, the action on the hardwood is heating up. Whether it's March Madness or the fight for the NBA playoffs, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. March Madness kicks off tonight with the first 4 games, and you can pick more or less right now. Prize Picks is also giving us a free pick for Caitlin Clark's matchup Saturday. Just select more than half a point for Clark and pair it with another winner for 3 times your money. This is a lineup that producer Smitty is rolling with. You can roll with his picks or fade his picks, but make sure to use the special of Caitlin Clark more than half a point. That's going to cash. Prize Picks always does these awesome offers where they give you great chances to win. Check them out. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Pick more, pick less, play Prize Picks. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. My grade of Rome Odunze going to the New York Giants is a B+. It's a good pick. I like the pick. It fits a position of need, and he is the best player at that position left on the board. The only thing that I would say is this is an extremely deep wide receiver class. This is one of the deeper wide receiver classes that we have seen in a long time. And we're also starting to see that wide receivers in college, even if they're drafted in the 2nd round or 3rd round, are still able to be big-time producers. This is Pro Football Focus's top 10 NFL draft wide receivers. Marvin Harrison, Malik Nabers, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas Jr., A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, Troy Franklin, Roman Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton. That doesn't even include people that you guys love in Keon Coleman, Jalen Polk, Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, and Xavier Worthy. My point in saying that is I believe the New York Giants can still get a really good wide receiver in round 2. I don't know if you get as good of a wide receiver as Rome Odunze, and if you are truly after getting one of the best wide receivers in this class, maybe you just pull the trigger on Odunze. But my big board that I have made this year, I have Joe Alt above Rome Odunze on my big board. I have Caleb Williams 1. I have Drake May 2. I have Marvin Harrison 3. I have Malik Nabers 4. I have Jaden Daniels 5. I have Joe Alt 6. And I have Rome Odunze 7. So I do have Joe Alt above Rome Odunze. But are the Giants going to draft a right tackle at number 6? I'm not so sure. I also have J.J. McCarthy inside my top 10 on the big board. And the Giants, they have a need for quarterback. And Mel Kiper acknowledged that. He just said it may not be the right pick. This is what he said. There have been rumblings about New York being a team to watch for quarterbacks, but I just don't see it. The team is committed to Daniel Jones for at least one more season because of the extension he signed last year. And I think this is too high to take J.J. McCarthy. Are the Giants willing to mortgage their future to try to move into the Patriots spot at number 3? The most likely option might be adding a playmaker for Jones and seeing if he can return to his 2022 form. Then again, if Jones struggles, Coach Brian Daboll and co. might again be drafting around this spot next season. I just want to talk about one quote from Mel Kiper here. He says, I think this is too high to take J.J. McCarthy. But he had him mocked at number 11 to the Minnesota Vikings. So if you believe he's good enough to go to 11, that means you believe he's going to be a good quarterback. And whether you take him at 11 or whether you take him at 6, if you believe he's a franchise quarterback, you should take him. I've never understood that. I'd take him at 28, but I wouldn't take him at... He's a quarterback. If he's good, he's good. I never, ever, have ever understood that. I don't get it. Like, you're saying he's not good enough to go 6, but he's good enough to go 11? What the F is the difference? He's still drafting him. Only one quarterback plays. It's not receiver. 3 don't play. It's on offensive tackle, and 2 play, and 2 edge rushers play, and 2 corners, and 2 safeties. Only one quarterback goes. If you think he's good enough to go 11, then the Giants should take him at 6. And that's what I think they will do. If J.J. McCarthy is available at pick number 6, he is going to be a New York Giant. Not necessarily what I would do. I'm just telling you what I have heard. If McCarthy is available at 6, he's going to be a Giant. And JJ honestly fits the Giants' timeline perfectly, which is something that Mel Kiper alluded to. He said, the team is committed to Daniel Jones for at least one more season because of the extension he signed last year. Well, his extension is done after this year. The Giants will cut him, and then they will have a dead cap at $22 million. So he wouldn't play all that much this year until Daniel Jones essentially plays himself out of the starting role. But on the flip side, if you still believe, Joe Schoen, which if you do, Joe Schoen, if you still believe in Daniel Jones, you draft Odunze or you draft Neighbors at 6. So you can surround him with the most talent. That way that you can try to see if he's worth the contract that you gave him. That's if you still believe. Joe Schoen says he's a starting quarterback, but I don't believe that Joe Schoen still believes in Daniel Jones. There's a reason he told Drew Lock that he will be competing for the starting spot. He doesn't believe in Daniel Jones anymore, and that's okay. It's year 6. Kenny Pickett, Steelers moved on from. Mac Jones, Patriots moved on from. Chicago Bears, moved on from Justin Fields. Zach Wilson, in trade rumors. It doesn't take until year 6 to figure it out. At some point in life, you have to rise above your circumstances. At Duke, he didn't have enough talent. With the Giants, he didn't have the O-line. He didn't have the OC. Didn't have the weapons. I want a franchise quarterback that elevates others around him, and he outperforms his circumstance. That ain't Daniel Jones. Is it J.J. McCarthy? I'm not sure I have an answer on that just yet. You make the pick, though, because McCarthy and Odunze were both on the board at number 6. Who would you rather the Giants draft at number 6 overall? Is it J.J. McCarthy? Is it Rome Odunze? Type the initial of the player you want to see wearing big blue next season. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Free, informative, entertaining updates that are passion-driven all day, every day, for free on your New York Giants. Subscribe and turn notifications on. And let's go big blue.
Getting real sick and tired of people thinking Daniel Jones can win a Super Bowl. He can't.
Why is it too early at 6 to take McCarthy, but it's okay to take him at 11? I don't understand that. I've never, ever understood that with quarterbacks.
And it's funny because it's very unlikely that the picks between 7, 8, 9, and 10 are going to be quarterback. They're probably not.
Yeah.
Those teams there are not looking for quarterback.
But seriously, like, you think he's good enough to go 11, but he's not good enough to go 6.
It's not like he's going 1 versus 11.
Yeah. Like,
and listen, do I think JJ is good enough to go 11? I'm not 100% sure. But you can't make that big of a jump between 6 and 11. There's not that big of a gap.
Like, how much? I don't know. I just never understood that. If the quarterback is good, he's good, and you take him.
Well, especially when Minnesota's trying to trade up from 11 to go get him at 5 or 6.
Because you know what happens, Smitty, if J.J. McCarthy doesn't play good at pick number 11? He's a bust.
Yeah.
So why does it matter?
And guess what? If he doesn't play well at pick number 6, he's a bust.
If he doesn't play good at pick number 32, he's a bust.
Yeah. It's a first-round draft pick.
Only one quarterback plays. Never understood that. Ivan Rio says, do I prefer Neighbors or Odunze? I have Neighbors above Odunze. But I like Odunze. He's my wide receiver 3. I have Harrison, Neighbors, and then Odunze. That's where I sit on that right now. I just don't get it. Like, the quarterback is good enough to go 15th, but he's not able to go 4th. Huh? Like, what? I've never understood that. Whatever. Good, some mainly more Odunze's over JJ. And I don't mind that because all that does is if you take Odunze, that just fortifies the weapons around the quarterback you're going to draft next year, and it gets them to come in, walk in into a more ready situation for a quarterback. I'm not dying to draft J.J. McCarthy. I just believe if he's available on the clock at 6, the Giants will pick him. That's just what I believe from people I've talked to, from what I've heard. To be honest with you, I probably would have took Joe Alt there. Your offensive line has been terrible for 12 years.
Could Joe Alt play swing tackle? Can he play both?
Absolutely. He said he's been training for both.
I love that.
I love that too. Dad in the Hall of Fame. He's been bred.
Who's his dad in the Hall of Fame?
Whoever Joe Alt's dad is.
All right, shout out to him.
His name is John Alt.
Okay.
Hall of Famer. 13 seasons in the NFL for the Chiefs.
Shout out.
He actually may not be in the Hall of Fame. He played his entire career with the Chiefs. John All Hall of Fame? He is.
Bill Hartnett trying to say you don't have sources. We do have sources.
Bill knows. It's weird. I told you guys on the Super Bowl that the Giants were going to sign Jermaine Illuminor. Season hadn't even ended yet.
Crazy.
I also told you guys that they were interested in paying Josh Jacobs just for them to turn around and offer Tony Pollard a deal.
Was Jermaine Illuminor the one that got quoted and said you don't have sources? I think that was, right?
The tweet I had?
The chats, like who's telling chat sports this shit? Yeah, that was Jermaine Illuminor, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Our guy Joey DeLuca.
Joey DeLuca.
He's a Knicks Now guy, right?
Joey
right?
DeLuca, Knicks Now, Giants Now.
He's a crossover guy.
He's a real one. Big Dave says I might trade down at 6 because the number 6 picks may be jinxed. Yeah, Daniel Jones with number 6. Chewy says, is Adoree wanting too much money? I don't think the Giants are interested in Adoree Jackson. He didn't play all that good last year. He really didn't. Throwing shade, what up, man? It's just a bad omen to take a QB at pick 6.
Oh, I have never thought about that, actually. That's
Daniel
funny.
Jones went 6.
Did he really? I thought he was 8. Probably
that's
his number. That's probably.
Chill, boy. Come in, says, what about an Odunze Penix reunion? I don't hate it.
I don't know if Penix is. I don't know if any team is gonna have the opportunity to take both of those two guys, unless the second one, who is probably Penix, is being traded up for. Griffin Case says, where are you at in White? And I'm sure he means Trey White.
We actually just put out a video on Trey White. You should check it out.
Hell yeah.
For me, with Trey White, it comes down to what's the deal going to be. I'm not giving him anything more than 1 year, low guaranteed money. The offer I would give him is 1 year, $5 million, 2.5 guaranteed, and then an opportunity to end up at 5. Hazelnut says, "What's the current super chat total?" We're at 425. We get to 500. We're gonna do a beer boot race. We're actually gonna start the shot clock here for 10 minutes. We're not gonna be able to get to the mailbag today's, guys. People got to get into the studio. Unfortunately, we've already been live for 2 hours. I'm sorry. But
it's been an electric stream.
It's been an electric stream. We've been answering your questions all day long. I'll put the shot clock up for 10 minutes. Nope says, "Aw, man." Nope, what's your question, dog? If you got a question, Nope, I'll answer it. If anyone has any questions that they want to get answered, just drop them in the chat right now. Do we have another one? Oh, we do still have free agency targets. Yeah, we got free agency targets. That's what we got to do. We got to do free agent targets. No mailbag today. Let's rip the free agency targets. I forgot about that. Feels like free agency targets. Let's go. $80 away. Well, bad at math. $74 away now from a beer boot race. Let's get into it, though. NFL free agency continues to roll on. We're about a week and a half into the 2024 free agency cycle. And in today's video, I'm going to go through the positions of needs for the Giants, factoring in the cap space, and talk about some realistic players that the New York Giants can sign. At this current moment, the Giants have about $6.5 million in cap space. They can easily increase that number, cutting a guy like Gary Brightwell or cutting a guy like Aaron Robinson. That saves you about $2.5 million. But you could save an additional $22 million in cap space if you restructure Andrew Thomas's contract and if you restructure Dexter Lawrence's contract. So $22 million if you restructure those big fellas, plus the $6.5, you're back up to nearly $30 million in cap space. And if the Giants are actually serious about adding some big-time talent to this roster in the offseason, they need to do this. I expect for them at minimum to restructure Andrew Thomas. I mean, when you talk about restructure candidates, there's not two guys that could fit it more perfectly. He's going to be here for the foreseeable future. He is going to be here for the foreseeable future. Just push through money down the road and deal with that a little bit later. 4 positions we're going to go through, though, at free agency targets. I believe the biggest Giants free agency needs left: corner, safety, wide receiver, and defensive tackle. Those are the 4 positions that I believe the Giants need to improve in free agency. They've already gone to the free agency well for the quarterback, and they went to the free agency well for the edge rusher. Go give me a veteran corner, give me a veteran safety, go give me a proven receiver, and give me a big guy in the trenches. That is where I am at on that. Luke Sargent says tight end. I don't know if tight end is as nearly as big of a need as these guys. You've already signed 2 guys at tight end, Jack Stoll and Chris Manhertz, and you still have Bellinger. That's 3 tight ends right there. If you lose Waller and he retires, you will need a tight end, but I'm still putting these 4 needs above those. Before we go into more players the Giants sign, my question is this. What would be your grade for Joe Schoen's free agency so far this year? What is your grade for Joe Schoen and his free agency so far this year? A, B, C, D, or F. Give me a letter grade down below. Let's start with the cornerback position. We're trying to be realistic. We're not talking about the best guys at the position. We're talking about people that the New York Giants can fit in their salary cap space. Xavier Howard's a guy that I'm absolutely interested in. Still just 30 years old. Has some good football left in the tank. Has some of the best ball skills, I believe, of any quarterback corner in this league. 12 pass breakups last year for Miami. Has led the league in interceptions before. Having him on one side and Deonte Banks on another, I think that would really help a Shane Bowen-led defense. Probably the number one corner, though, that I'm most interested in is Stephon Gilmore. And the reason is because I think he's the best left, and he might just be outside the Giants' price range. I'm not sure what it would cost, but I would definitely call him, and I would see what the price would be because I think he's still really good. I think he helped that Dallas Cowboys defense last year. You always see these guys go from one team in the division to another, and I think that Deonte Banks getting to learn from Stephon Gilmore, even if it is just for 1 year, would greatly help the development for his career. Tre'Davious White is supposed to have a free agency visit with the Giants this week. He's a good player. The injuries have just been a problem. He's only played in 21 games in the last 3 years. Still just 29 years old. And when he's available, his ability has shined through. But the availability is sometimes the best ability. And right now he's been unable to be that. Just 21 games in the last 3 years. Former All-Pro, former first-round pick at LSU. I still think there's some talent there. But I wouldn't give him anything more than the cheap 1 year deal. 1 year, $5 million, 2.5 guaranteed. Incentives up to 5. Christian Fulton is a sneaky under the radar free agent target that I'm looking at. Has some ties to Shane Bowen. He played with the Tennessee Titans last year. Still just 25 years old. Bowen knows him inside and out. He'll know if he's a good fit. I'll keep my eyes on Christian Fulton. If you're looking for more of a slot corner, Avonte Maddox, I think, fits that bill. He also comes over, or he played for the Philadelphia Eagles throughout his career. Not the best corner, not the worst, but he is someone that I think that could help you in that slot. I like Cordell Flott. I like Nick McLeod. I'm not so sure they're ready to be full-time starting slot corners in this league. You look at the Giants' cornerback room. You got Banks, you got McLeod, you got Flott, you got Trey Hawkins, and you got Aaron Robinson. But outside of that, you don't have anybody else. And outside of Deonte Banks, there's really not that much proven talent in this league. The Giants 100% need to add to this cornerback depth chart. Whether that is Xavier Howard, whether it is Tre'Davious White, whether it is Stephon Gilmore or Fulton or Maddox, the Giants need to go out and pay some money for a corner that's proven. You don't want another young corner on this team. You need someone proven, especially in a Shane Bowen defense where they ask a lot out of their defensive backs. If the Giants make a signing, though, we're going to make a video. So subscribe and turn your notifications on for free, informative, entertaining, passion-driven updates every day on your New York Football Giants. The next biggest position of need in free agency to fill, in my opinion, is the safety position. Xavier McKinney walked. He is now a member of the Green Bay Packers. You went out and gave Jalen Mills a 1-year veteran minimum deal. I think you could add some more competition there. I'm looking at a guy like Quandre Diggs, who has been with Seattle for the past couple of years, 31 years old, hard-hitting safety, likes to play in the box. I think he's still a really good player. I would bring him in to play. These Shane Bowen defenses, he likes to run nickel and dime a lot, likes to have a lot of DBs on the field. If you're going to do that, you need DBs that can tackle. And Quandre Diggs, he's one of the best in the business at stuffing the run. Another veteran I'm going to be keeping my eyes on is Eddie Jackson. Man, I loved him coming out of Alabama. He reminded me of Eric Berry a little bit. Never really lived up to the hype. Had some really good seasons. That may not be fair. Had some really good seasons in this league, but his best days are behind him. Still solid player. I'd love to bring him in. From Alabama, 30 years old, 37 tackles last year, 5 pass breakups. He's a guy that can come in the box as well and defend the run. Not the best coverage guy. You don't really want to play in that deep half or that deep single high safety too often. But that strong safety, big nickel type of role, I think Eddie Jackson makes a lot of sense for the Giants. A younger option, which may be a little bit too expensive for the Giants, is Julian Blackmon. 25 years old, 88 tackles last year, 8 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. I think he's the best free agent safety probably left outside of Justin Simmons or Duggar from the New England Patriots. I'd keep my eyes on Julian Blackmon. I'm also a big fan of Rudy Ford. I'm a big fan of Rudy Ford. I think he's a guy that just makes plays. Last year for the Green Bay Packers, 71 tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. Here at Chat Sports, I do our Green Bay Packers content for our Alexa. If you have a little Amazon device, you could say play the Green Bay Packers Blitz or Green Bay Packers 2-minute drill. I'll come up. Rudy Ford was making plays every single week. A little injury prone, but I would like to bring him in. I think he'd help. Micah Hyde is another name that I think could be attached to the New York Giants. The Buffalo Bills connection with Joe Schoen and with Brian Dable. 33 years old, but a guy that I still think has some good games, still some good snaps, some good reps to be had. And he's someone that I think fits the Bowen defense. He gets in the box and he mixes it up. And when you look at the Giants depth chart at the safety position, they need to add some more talent here. I like Pinnock. I like Belton. Jalen Mills on a veteran minimum and Javarius Owens are nothing more than camp bodies that really need to earn roster spots. So going and adding a guy at that safety position, like the people we talked about, I think makes a lot of sense. From safety to wide receiver, Michael Gallup is the guy that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. He's been with the Dallas Cowboys throughout his career. He was an early round pick out of Colorado State till 28 years old. Never really bounced back from that ACL injury, but he gives you a different look at that wide receiver position, and he's had some really good years in this league. Not elite anymore, still a good player. I'd bring him in on a cheap deal. Corey Davis, I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on him. Former top 10 pick out of Western Michigan. I still think he has a good amount of athleticism to give to this game and some good production. I wouldn't mind signing a guy like Corey Davis. If you want to buy a lottery ticket, and maybe you get him on a cheap one-year deal, Michael Thomas. I'm not sure how much tread is left on those tires, but we know that Slant Boy is a good football player when healthy. 39 grabs last year, 448 yards. Like Tre'Davious White, it comes down to availability for Michael Thomas, and he just hasn't been all that available so far. DJ Chark is a name I'm also going to be watching very closely. The Giants were interested in signing DJ Chark last season, so I could see Chark once again coming up on the radar for the New York Giants. He's a deep threat. Didn't have that good of a year last year, but he's someone that I'm definitely thinking the Giants are going to kick the tires on, as they were interested in him just last season. Isaiah Hodgins. Kind of upset that he's not back with the Giants. Only 25 years old. But do I want to pay $3 million for my wide receiver 5? And this is all dependent on if you go out and draft a receiver as well. Maybe the Giants wait on that to see how the draft plays out. But I wouldn't mind bringing a guy back like Isaiah Hodgins. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Not all that interested in him. He is a deep threat. He's someone that can push the sideline and put some pressure on the safeties. Vertical threat, no doubt about it. Has a little bit of a drop issue. Not all that interested in him, but still a free agent target for the New York Giants because it'll be cheaper at that wide receiver position. Giants need a wide receiver 1. They got to add somebody. I mean, you see the graphic. This thing makes me want to vomit. Their receivers they haven't had a wide receiver 1 since the year before the pandemic. And before that, Lord knows how far it's been. They're just not good. Like, simply put, I think Slayton is a wide receiver 3 on a really good team. Wide receiver 2. But for me, you got to go out and add more talent to this position. We'll get to the defensive tackle position coming up in a second, as I do still think the Giants need to add a body there. But Brian Burns jerseys are up for purchase. Get yours today. Chatsports.com/Burns. Chatsports.com/Burns. Get hooked up with them. Get your jersey. Once it is official, as he's wearing number 0, they'll ship it out to you, and you'll have your Brian Burns jersey on the way. Let's close it out with defensive tackles. What about bringing in one of my favorite players of all time, Calais Campbell? 37 years old, still solid, 6'8", 307 pounds. The guy had 56 tackles, 6.5 sacks last year, 10 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 full fumble recovery. I think he's still a good football player. And I'd like to see him lined up next to Dexter Lawrence with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari rotating in. Calais Campbell would be someone I'm very interested in. Taylor Tart Also another guy I'm keeping my eye on. 6'2", 304 pounds, your interior defensive lineman, a run stopper. He had 8 tackles for loss. He can get off blocks. He can make plays near or around the line of scrimmage. Get another guy that can get dirty in the trenches is something that I think this team needs. I like Jordan Riley, and I like DJ Davidson. I obviously love Sexy Dexy, but I think another DT could make a lot of sense in free agency to this team. Lawrence Guy is another guy that I'm ultra. That's funny. Lawrence Guy is another guy. I like him. He's older. 38 tackles last year, 1 tackle for loss. He wants to come play for a cheap 1-year deal. I'd don't go to that one. I would be interested on him. Mike Purcell, another player that I'm also interested in at that D tackle position. I think all these guys could be had for cheap 1-year deals, maybe a cheap 2-year deal for some of the guys we talked about. But 6'3", 328 pounds, 25 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I think that makes a lot of sense for the Giants. We went through maybe 30 players on today's show. Receiver, DT, corner, and safety. All I ask is for you to name one player. Give me one name. Everybody watching today's show, please give me one name you want to see the Giants sign in free agency. Make sure you are following me over on Twitter and Instagram. It's the first place you'll find out about any Giants signings that they make. So hit me up over there. And let's go Big Blue. Ugh, I'm tired. I am tired. Lord Buddy Bear says Drew Lock. All right, Aiden O'Connell.
Yo, Drew Lock lays his nuts on the turf.
92-yard drive, game winner against the Eagles on Monday Night Football.
People forget. People forget he was dropping absolute dimes on that drive. DK Metcalf took over as well, Jay Asenga with the game winner, but Drew Lock made it happen. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if Geno is making that drive happen. I don't know if he is. Rashad McCrory said he missed the whole show. Well, guess what? That's the best part about it. Is it's on demand right after we're all done. Don't you worry, my friend.
Also, Rashad, you got any more love for Drew Lock now that he can go bar for bar with Young Jeezy? Remember that song? Hey, and Young Jeezy.
That's why I work for NASA. Call that bitch my bodyguard.
When Drew Lock throws a go route to Malik Neighbors for a touchdown, he puts that shit on, I don't want to hear about anybody. The backpack Selly was so underrated.
It was good. It's one of the least talked about Sellys. Probably because he's a cold-ass white boy, and that's who did it.
Rashad, that post blew up, bro. That post blew up.
You had a little IG love?
Yeah, almost 1 million views on that piece.
Oh, that was the one you were telling me about. Yeah.
My man Rashad was going back and forth in the comments with the people.
Easy 3 says, put that shit on. Put that shit on.
Yeah, Rashad, that was funny. I got on getting notifications. People were chirping at you, dog. That shit was funny. All right. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I do want to say we are $75 away from a beer boot race. I'm going to put 4 minutes on the shot clock. If we want it to happen, good. If not, good.
Hold up the fours.
It's just, we didn't come this far to come this far.
We really didn't. We really didn't. You guys see the backdrop? I got the skyline on my back.
Smitty's literally in New York City.
I'm remote.
Nope. We appreciate you, bro. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. The audience has been awesome today. Over 5,000 people tuned in. Average watch time of 11 minutes.
A lot of fun.
$426. You guys are the best.
Filled in for Hollywood Seeps. He had a lot going on.
Seeps is just too big time these days.
I know.
Like, the Vikings are important.
Happy for him, taking it to the next level, but his quarterback situation is worse than New York's.
Yeah. Have fun with Sammy Darnold.
Yeah. Get ready to learn Darnold, buddy.
Get ready to learn Darnold. Easy says 4 minutes or Marsh is eating PB&J for Din Din. I haven't had a good PB&J in a long, long time.
It's one of my go-tos, not going to lie, when I'm feeling a certain type of way.
You got to get it on white bread.
Yeah, white bread.
People try to do it with that.
If you, listen, it's already got sugar and a bunch of bullshit in there.
It's got to be the white bread.
Just go with the unhealthy bread. Nobody cares.
I've been trying to watch what I've eaten. Chunky or smooth PB?
It's smooth. If you're eating chunky peanut butter, you're kind of a weirdo. kind of a weirdo.
I guess I'm a weirdo.
You might be a little sketch.
That chunky peanut butter hits different.
I can't be chewing my peanut butter. That's wild.
I'm a chunky guy.
And speaking of that might be a little sketch, my guy B says, special teams, special players, special plays.
I hit that in a video.
Did you actually?
Yes. But I didn't say it in his voice.
What did you say? You just said it regular. Special teams, special plays, special players.
I just said special teams, special players. Let me see if I can find it.
Tuesday.
Chunky is bussin', says Easy.
Big Dave says 68 mil for Judy. It's 58 mil, but regardless, that's still a way too much for Mr. Jerry Judy.
Way too much.
He doesn't even have a 1,000-yard season. We're giving him 20 mil.
The first couple of moves that the New York Giants made were in the special teams side of the ball. Special teams, special players. Casey Kreider.
And speaking of, that's hilarious, by the way. And speaking of,
someone commented, was like, "Did you just shout him out?"
That's hilarious. 68 mil for Jerry Judy. That's 20 mil a year. Vince, what are you making this year? Ari told me 20 mil.
Ari told me 20 mil.
Donate $1.50, Vince.
I got to get back on it. 2 minutes left on the shot clock. Mr. Rick says he'll do 25.
All right.
If Mr. Rick does 25 and someone else does 20, to be honest with you, I don't want to do the boot. So I'm not going to be mad if we don't get there.
We're not throwing any pressure on you guys to super chat here these last 2 minutes. I'll even throw the countdown box up, but I don't even want to make it that publicized that we're counting it down.
I'm not going to lie. I don't want to do the boot. So you would actually be doing me a favor to get that to happen. So shout out to you guys for that. Easy E says we should sign Hyde or Simmons. I'd love to get Justin Simmons. I just don't know how likely that is. Micah Hyde's cooked.
He's cooked. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Micah Hyde is cooked. Justin Simmons, I think, is out of our price range, Isaac. I think Simmons is going to get like $10 million a year from someone. I just don't see it. I just don't see how the Giants can clear that much space. Well, Bulldozer, Stephon Gilmore, I'd love that.
How much is he going to get at age 33?
Can you get him 1 year, $6 million?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. $6 million.
I'd love to add that. Carl says, "Why is nobody talking about M. Thomas?" We literally just talked about Michael Thomas.
No, but nobody is really talking about him. Like, he obviously did not enjoy the latter half of his time in New Orleans. So maybe he goes to a new destination and kind of finds a little bit of a career resurgence. Maybe he was kind of milking some of those injuries there in New Orleans. Who knows? Because he would be the guy to do that.
Yeah. Dragonbot says, "They're saying we twins. What you think?" Me and you? I don't see your face in your profile picture, so I think it's kind of hard to say.
How long you have motion, twin? Since birth.
It's that boy Joe in the building. What's up, Joe? All righty.
How's that? Yeah. Are we timed out?
We're timed out.
Timed over.
We came this far to come this far.
That's tough.
We literally are kicking a field goal on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm glad. I don't want to do a boot.
I don't want to do a boot either.
I don't want to do a boot.
It's a lot of liquid if you guys weren't aware.
My man Mamadou Canty, my man. We love you, brother. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys haven't yet, please give me a follow over on social media. My boss has told me I got to get my social media presence up. So help me do that. Hit me up on Instagram. My guy Steven says, "What is the best chopped cheese spot in NYC?" You got one, Smitty?
Yo, I don't have an elite chopped cheese spot, but I was at this bodega this weekend, and we did get the chopped cheese, and it was fire.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you get on it?
Just a classic beef, cheese, onions, and peppers.
That's what I would do. All those ones in those videos with the...
Oh, the Aki way?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Those are jokes, right?
Those are jokes, yeah. I mean, listen, if Sauce Gardner is actually eating the honey bun chopped cheese, I hope that the Jets take that and reprimand him in some capacity.
Always kick, brother. Special teams, big plays.
That's right. Onside kick.
You guys are hilarious. Bronx Bodega, Williams.
Yeah, no.
Listen,
Bronx is definitely the spot to get the chopped cheese. Let me get a chopped cheese on the corner.
On the corner? What does that mean?
I don't know. A Boogie made that line way back when it was some unreleased Spinrilla song. He said,
Spinrilla
"Let me
was
get a
crazy.
chopped cheese on the corner."
You guys are ridiculous. All righty. We're signing off. I love y'all, boys. We appreciate y'all. Ladies as well, because we got some ladies. Shout out to the ladies in the building. We're going to sign off. Awesome show today. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Let's go, Big Blue.